I take back
Telatalk Season 3, Episode 6.
6.
We're back. My boy Stuyvesant is in the building. Ep.6 is in the building.
That's me.
And of course, yours truly on the motherfucking microphone. You know the mic.
Hide your loved ones. I'm here.
This is the first episode of 2019.
Facts.
This is it.
You know what's funny? Anytime we have fucking a holiday, we never say that there's a holiday coming up on the previous episode.
What do you mean?
We didn't do it for Christmas. Like, oh, yo, Christmas is coming up. Like, what's the plan for Christmas? And
we always talk about it like in past times. Like, yo, what did you do for Christmas last week? What did you do for New Year's?
New Year's, I went to OVO Omar's crib, watching them get drunk because I was fucking sick. That's why the last podcast was fucking tuning in Nash. Yeah, so we did that. I watched them get drunk and watching niggas just go crazy all fucking day.
What did you do? What did I do?
Yeah.
I went to 3 different functions. I went to a family one, a friend one, and then there's like
didn't pull up to Osa's crib, huh?
I didn't pull up. No one took me. But what I really didn't realize is that one of my boys, his father was in a Dominican music group called Los Hermanos Rosario.
Yeah.
You're probably familiar. Like they do that. "E baila swing." Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in that group?
Yeah, his dad was in that
crazy.
group. So I was in there and I was like, yo, this is crazy.
That's literally crazy though, because I've heard that song my whole life.
My whole life. They got plaques on the wall and like they even pulled up like the old videos because I didn't believe them.
That's crazy. They actually were listening to that song on New Year's.
At the party, yeah.
At the party.
And then he pulled out a Guido and I just believed it from there.
A Guido. La Guida,
The
nigga?
scratching.
Yeah, La Guida.
La Guida.
A Guido.
No.
This guy's such a
La Guida, nigga.
male
It's not El
chauvinist over
Guido.
here.
Nah,
El Guido, not
La
La Guida.
Guida.
we Latinx out here.
Simonson?
Nah, I stayed home. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, this nigga's like, yo, give me the address. I'm about to pull up. 30 minutes later, I'm like, what's this nigga address?
Nah, because I told your brother, I was like, look, I'm going to try to finish Final Fantasy 15, and then I'll ride through. And I didn't finish it, so.
How far are you?
I'm right at the end, but I keep running into side quests.
Oh, it's like one of those games, kind of like
It's an RPG, ain't it?
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying like it's like one of those games where you can do other things in it besides the main mission.
Yeah.
Kind of like GTA.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's like the first
Look, I'm telling you
open
right
world.
now, anytime I play GTA, I'm not doing a mission. I'm going to go do some random bullshit. That's it.
Fuck the story.
Really.
If anything that I can do can progress the story, I don't want to do it.
The only time I used to do it on GTA was when I played Liberty City, and that's because you to get to other places you had to do the missions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So open up the rest of the map. But on the new GTA 5, you could do everything.
Nah, and those old games too, like, you couldn't get like tier 3 weapons until you
Went on
went
in.
from
Or
the
unless you did
story.
the fucking Chicos.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that.
Yeah, but that's against the spirit of the game.
That gets boring quick.
You definitely are the person that did the cheat code to get unlimited money so you can buy all the guns.
Nah, I never
For
did that.
sure.
I was the dude that played by the rules. in
Nah,
GTA, for
the
sure.
shit I used to use cheat codes on OD was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. That's only because you can get like Dark Vader and shit, as, like a character, Wolverine and shit, and you can skateboard with it and shit like that.
My favorite show was Tony Hawk's Underground 2 because they had Tampa as a map.
They did have Tampa on the map, yeah.
Classic.
On that.
You know what game?
I didn't live here yet though. So I was like,
You know
prophetic.
what game was still pretty crazy with God mode on?
What?
Twisted Metal 2, man. They had that one stage that was like
You never played Twisted Metal?
isn't that like a Rough Rider song?
Nah, Twisted Metal is basically kind of like. If you had to explain Twisted Metal, what would you explain it like?
The way I would
It's kinda
say
like a
it,
battle
it's like
royale.
it's a death match, like an arena game. So
Like fighting though.
no, you're in a car.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's basically like a whole bunch of different characters who have cars. Like what's the main character? The clown that has
Like the one
ice cream
that's
truck?
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth.
Dan.
It's an ice cream truck guy with like a burnt skull, and he drives an ice cream truck and he just shoots shit. It's basically kind of like Mario Kart, but way more rated R.
Yeah, it's not a race. It's about killing.
It's not a race.
It's
No, it's
not.
about killing each other.
It's about like killing each other. That's what it is.
So the thing was, you could put in God mode, you don't die on any stage except for that New York stage or whatever it was supposed to be. I think it was supposed to be New York.
Yeah.
You could fall off the building and die.
And it was still super hard.
I mean,
That game is hard, dude.
I think that's the first stage that they introduce one of like the hidden characters.
And the thing about it is, they have a lot of stories, and the stories are like very dark stories. Like the one motherfucker who doesn't have arms. There's a motherfucker who doesn't have arms, so his arms are just the remaining of his arms are connected to 2 wheels.
Dude's name was Axel,
Yeah.
and his dad forced him to jump into this machine where like his arms are integrated into
the
2
car.
tires.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what it is.
I think his ending was like, because when you beat everyone else, you meet some guy named Calypso who can grant you any wish.
Yeah.
But he's like a true djinn, right? Where anything you say, he'll find a hole in it and then make it horrible.
Yeah, it's kind of like a genie.
So
It's like if you asked for $10 million, he would give you like $10 million, like the animal.
or just drop it on you to kill you.
Yeah, something like that.
Like
So-
one lady, she was just really fast, and then her wish was like to go faster than anybody's ever gone in her car. So he was like, all right, your wish is granted. So then the little animation is her going fast as fuck, going back in time, and then her car runs out of gas.
She's stuck back in time.
Yeah, and
that's
she's
basically
stuck
what
with
it is.
like dinosaurs.
I forgot that there was endings like then like he would grant a wish. It's kind of like the fucking evil dragon. Once you forget all the Dragon Balls, and the dragon gives you something.
So what was your purpose in the game?
You choose any character
Yeah,
you
Oh,
choose
you
any
pick
character.
any of those characters.
Mhm.
And you just have to beat everyone
And
else.
then you win,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's no like you though.
No, there's not a create your own player on that.
That'd be
shit.
cool.
You can't create your own 2K player on that one.
I want to be Axel.
I think in
There's other characters that I don't think you would just like want to just.
This
jump
game
to that one.
sounds way more in depth than I thought it was.
no, the game's actually really good.
No, the game is really good. Like it's really, really good. I used to play that game all the time.
It got bad because like the one he's referencing a lot is Twisted Metal Black.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That one was the darkest, like super
That
dark.
one was super dark. That's what I'm saying. That one is super dark, man.
Yeah.
Like that one was dark to the point where like niggas was like, I don't even know if I could play this shit no more.
Yeah, you remember we stopped, right? I was like, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore. Like I was like, I can't keep doing this.
What was the straw that broke the camel's back?
I
It
think
had to be somebody's story.
it had to do, I think, with Minion, because he's a demon.
Yeah.
And I forget what his ending was, but I was just like, bro, I've had enough. Like it was just like, I'm done, man. Because it's not like I forget which Twisted Metal it was, but Minion went and won, and then Calypso's like, "What's your wish?" And then he's like, "I want to go back to hell, like send me back to hell."
What the hell?
And then he was like, "All
He's
right,
the demon.
yeah." So then he's like, he like got ostracized or something. I don't know, but he's like, "I'll send you to hell," and he's sending him to like hell, Antarctica or whatever, because there's a place called hell out there.
right, yeah.
It's
And
like
that's
there's a
like his
Paris,
joke.
Texas, and a Boston, Kentucky.
Yeah,
there's a
exactly.
Kansas Tampa too.
Is it Kansas, Tampa?
I think in Twisted Metal 2, because there's always like
Or
one
is it
character.
Tampa, Kansas.
Tampa, Kansas, yeah. There's a Tampa, Kansas.
All right.
Yeah.
Tampa, Korea.
Korea?
Yeah,
Is that a real thing?
I'm asking.
No, I don't know.
No.
How would I know that off the top of my head? That'd be crazy, nigga. I failed geography. Get out of here.
You mean geometry?
No, nigga, I don't fail any math class. You crazy?
Math class? That's a study of rocks and stuff.
Geometry?
Yes.
Isn't geometry the shape, the fucking shape math, isn't it?
Yes.
Yo, what are you talking about?
Geology.
Geology is what you're talking about.
You're faded, son.
Also, this fading off the pizza right now.
Chill, bro. I'm referencing Fairly Odd Parents. Come on now.
I didn't really. That show was like whatever to me, like going
They had
on.
a good first 2 seasons, 3 seasons.
I mean, that's one of those shows where they were making jokes that were not for kids. Like
Oh no,
there's-
I think all kids shows make jokes that are not for kids.
Well, there's one scene, I've seen it like on Reddit and stuff, they post it,
Yeah.
but the kid's like talking to his dad and he's like, oh, when did your dream end? Like, when did you give up on your dream? And the dad looks at him, he's like, how old are you?
That's a fucking classic.
I was like, damn. That's
Like, this is where I put my trophy. If I had one.
No, he always.
That's a classic one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of niggas who have office 9 to 5. Scared.
Yeah, I got one of those. I got a friend.
What, a kid or a 9 to 5?
A 9 to 5. No kid
If
then.
this nigga had a kid, I'd be very surprised.
Nah, I wouldn't be
Oh,
surprised.
You know what I'm saying? If you already had a kid and I didn't know about it, I would be
If
surprised.
you told us tomorrow, like, yo, I have a kid on the way, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
On the way, I would.
Thanks, man.
On the way, no, I would still be surprised if he was like, "Yo, I had a kid on the way."
No, he's a grown ass man.
No, that's not what I would be surprised about.
I I mean, all kids are just on the way in their own way. God's working on all of us.
I guess. Man, I'm telling you, when this podcast blows up and niggas start believing the shit he says, it's gonna be a different type of troll, like laughing.
There's some people that are probably dumb enough to believe.
No, 1,000%.
At least, like, let's say 20% of what I say. Okay,
1,000%.
I can get a cult following.
1,000%.
I can definitely have a cult.
1,000%.
Dude, I mean, there's people that believe Lil B's actually trying to rap.
Lil B's amazing though.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's amazing because you're in on the joke.
It's
but there's niggas out here that really like fucking think he can like he's crazy bar for bar rapper.
Joke?
Well, I guess you're not in on the joke then. Because Lil B is nigga. Lil B's hilarious, but the crazy thing is like
stop picking on me, you bitch.
Think about it. There's somebody who's sitting in the room like, yo, this nigga is the illest all time.
Oh, dude.
I remember one time I was with my cousin. I was TSB, the Thrift Shop Bastard, and I played Lil B, and they're sitting there like, bro, do you actually like this? And I'm sitting there like,
I can definitely see TSB be like, yo, nigga, you like this?
No, he's like, bro, B did that to me. You fuck with this for real? I'm like,
I can 100% picture him saying that shit. Because he knows that I'm trolling, because he'll know, like, nigga, I know for sure you don't listen to that bullshit.
I'm like,
but I'll tell you one thing right now, Lil B has a lot better production than, I would say, half of the rappers, probably more than that.
I was gonna say his beat selection's better than Jadakiss.
Good boy.
Lil B makes better beats than J. Cole, don't that?
He doesn't make the beats. He has beats selected.
He made every beat on I'm Gay.
No, he didn't. He did a lot of Clams Casino shit on there. Where are you getting your facts from? You just saying random shit.
This is for his cult.
This is for my cult.
This is definitely for his cult. Nah, because he always does smoke with Clams Casino. I think he does some shit with Harry Fraud a lot of the times too.
Who's the next Lil B?
I don't know.
Like, who's that?
There
Like,
could never be
next,
another Lil B.
Oh, but that next like
nigga who figures out that niggas just listen to whatever if you say with some conviction.
Basically.
I mean, isn't that every rapper now?
Oh,
what do you mean? What do you mean?
Like 6ix9ine?
Go on there. This nigga loves 6ix9ine, by the way.
Dude, come on.
This nigga loves 6ix9ine.
6ix9ine?
Not even joking. He loves 6ix9ine.
All right, let's not put that into the way.
Yeah, okay.
I like the joke. I like the existence. I think hip hop is better with 6ix9ine in it than without.
Nah,
Really? Why?
Expound.
I'm having a much better time with him in it than when he wasn't in it.
Oh, so in your opinion?
Yeah, in your
not
opinion,
that-
that hip hop is better with him in it.
My hip hop is better.
Oh,
Look,
okay.
I'm telling you right now.
Because everything was too serious. I was like, this is whack.
Lil
But
B.
the thing, yeah, Lil B's in there. Plus,
Lil B's
that's
in
the thing. Like people always like to say, like, yo, people take things too serious. But this is somebody's art. People are gonna take it serious regardless.
They said art.
That's just like in hip hop. Like if niggas started, if it was a whole bunch of 6ix9ine niggas, but your hip hop is dead, then what the fuck we got to listen to then?
That's why I need the balance.
What the fuck we got
That's
to
why I
listen
need
to?
the balance. I need the JID and the 6ix9ine to coexist.
I mean, I can understand that because then you have Eminem. I almost said Lil Wayne for some reason.
Yeah, but I think that's why there was that thing in like the 90s where people said that the music is better. It was the golden era because there wasn't that much people playing around. Everybody took that shit serious pretty much for the most part. Like even the trash rappers were actually kind of good.
Yeah, but
I don't
even
agree with that.
even in that era though, you had like
expound on that though.
About which point? About there was less trash rappers back then?
No, I didn't say there was less trash rappers. I
People
said
took it more
the bar
seriously.
was a lot higher than what the rappers are now. There was trash rappers.
I don't think
but
the bar was
higher.
very high back then.
really
What?
Nobody was rapping.
what?
How far back we talking?
The 90s. I said, you literally said the 90s.
The 90s?
Yeah, the
There was
90s.
a lot of
and
trash
all,
in the
golden rappers.
90s.
But you just said nobody was rapping,
Like how
and the bar wasn't higher.
the bar wasn't as high.
Okay, hold up.
Yeah, I
hold
want to
up.
see where you're going with this one. Let's go.
Hold up.
Let's go with this.
Because I feel like
What?
we have such like an understanding of hip hop and rap music now that we could compare somebody to anything and have like a bar and expectation for anybody to come from any city. But back then, and like not all the cities were rapping like how they rap now.
I would say that
Like there was less expectations. Like if you're coming out of fucking Topeka, Kansas, but what you're supposed to sound like, or what kind of like expectations your bar is supposed to have, like with your pattern, your rhythm. Because like
Nah, you are.
for rap music, absolutely. Because
Nah, because nigga, if you're back then, you had to know how to spit. You can't just come out with some bullshit how niggas come out now.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I understand what you're saying, right? I think now it's easier to classify rappers, right?
Yeah, that is true.
what do you mean by
yes.
classify?
Because like you're saying, we have a better understanding of the scene.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy's kind of like this guy, so this is kind of his type of rap.
Yeah.
You
So
know
you
what I
get
mean?
you get put in that. Well, what we have on the conversation too is that like should we have subgenres in hip hop? And I do think that there should
I
be
think we
subgenres.
should.
Because every other genre has subgenres. There should be subgenres of who and what you guys do like that. But everybody, I think everybody hip hop would be mad because if we put you in the mumble rapper shit, they'd be like, yo, I'm not a mumble rapper though.
Hey man, whatever.
Is mumble rap its own subgenre? You would think.
I think so.
I would think mumble rap is his own shit. I would
Or we
say
just put that under trap.
I would say I would say trap. I think that's like too broad of a stroke pause. It's like I think you would have to do like conscious rapping on one, and then you can put like I don't know what you would qualify like Drake and like all the big stars.
That's pop rap.
Just put stars.
Well, rap is pop anyways.
Yeah, rap is popular music anyways. But
So you could just call that pop rap anyway because it's the most popular form of rap.
Yeah, it's the most popular form of rap. But then Hov goes in that category. But then he fits in all the other categories.
Well, it's just like other people in music. They can fall into multiple genres. but-
Yeah. Plus, like, it's harder to
yeah, but it's
classify-
kind of like in the sense of.
At that point, you
Think
want
of like
to.
one of the biggest rock bands, and they're like a specific type of rock band. You can't say like, yeah, they're that, and then they're this, and then this, and then this.
Well,
Unless they make that type of music, is what I'm saying.
an unsuccessful example is Megadeth.
Yeah.
They started out as metal,
Megadeth.
right?
Yeah.
And then, like, their second or third album, they went folk, and it didn't do well. And then they went back to metal with, like, Christian undertones.
Yeah, but I think Jay-Z's more consistent than he makes though.
Well, now, yeah. But I'm saying
I'm
that's
saying in general though, like it's always been like the consensus of like the same type of.
for Megadeth.
No, for Jay-Z.
Oh, Jay-Z.
Because it'll be different.
Well, Jay-Z's content has been different.
Here's-
in recent
Yeah, but I'm
years.
saying like the overall music, like the beats, how he like
I
puts
feel
it
like-
down is different.
But I feel like
Because I think that would be hard to like define for everybody. Rather like it being like a punk rock, a soft rock.
Well, I still
Christian
think
rock, shit like
the
that.
content is just as important as the sound when it comes to defining the genre.
Yeah.
I guess, I think. But I think the way that they would do the genre would be more of how you sound. That's kind of like the same thing as like punk rock and all that. other shit.
I agree with you that the sound is like super important, but the content of what you're talking about is important too because you can have somebody like let's say 6ix9ine, right? Just because it's easy to understand what he sounds like, what he talks about,
Yeah.
and blah blah blah. But we put him over like some bubblegum K-pop. What would we call that?
That's the same thing I'm talking about. Like,
Because it's not going to be K-pop because the instrumental is K-pop.
I think
it's not
it's
going to be.
I think it's
that.
more sound because it's like, what specifically makes you a punk band? Is it like voice or is it like where you play? Because like I think a lot of punk rock bands are like not as heavy as other ones.
Right.
Like
So I think that's what they do. Like, and then you have like the screamo fucking shit. I don't know
Yeah,
what it's
scream.
called. It's called screamo.
Well, that's a whole different genre in of itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to like generalize everything, but
Yeah.
I
The thing
feel
is
like-
with a lot of like artists in like that rock / sub rock category is that like they'll have projects, right? And just maybe one or two songs will venture into like a different genre and then they'll go back to their regular scheduled programming. So you can't say that like, oh, they're a progressive rock band
yeah.
just because they have two songs and an album on a hardcore thing.
Yeah, so that's the thing I'm talking about. So like, if I did like two popular songs, I can't be a pop nigga because more majority I do is not that.
All right, so like back to Jay-Z. Let's say on the Blueprint, he had an R&B joint on there. Is he a fucking R&B singer?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, I don't think like people should get boxed in for doing something out of the norm.
I think with this type of thing, you end up having to figure out the genre of the album, not the artist.
Yeah, I guess.
And I guess that's damn. Why'd you have to fix it in like one sentence, idiot?
Oh, but hey, I'm going back to it. I'm still not letting this nigga get off the hook of saying that the
the
bar
90s.
was lower back then than it is now.
It's just-
lower.
How?
I understand what he's trying to say, I think. So let me try to explain what I think you're trying to say. Back then, it was so new
Yeah.
that you could come in with almost any sound and you might make it, right? Now,
That's not what he was saying because like he's like, oh no, but that makes sense.
okay,
It's not what
go
I was
ahead.
saying, but I'm still agreeing. With you.
No, let him talk then. Go
Nah,
ahead.
finish your point.
He's
I'm
gonna
agreeing with you.
piggyback on whatever you finish saying.
That's why I don't want to keep going.
Because think about it like this. Think about who came out of the 90s to compare to niggas who come out now.
Who comes out now?
Right, so now our biggest artists are Drake, Kendrick, Cole.
They came out in the 90s.
No, I'm saying now. That's why the artists now. You just asked me who came out now, and then they came out in the 90s. All right, now go back to the 90s. Look who came out then. Nas, Hov, fucking Wu-Tang.
Tupac, Biggie, Big L.
Big, Tupac, L.
All right.
Like, exactly. Like, what do you mean, all right? That bar's way higher than it is now.
The rap godfathers, man.
Those are the ones.
Did we say Snoop Dogg too?
You got Snoop, Dre. You got who else came out in the 90s? I know there's a lot of niggas we're just missing out because we're going off the top of the head.
Eazy-E.
BZ didn't right though, but
Yeah, I know.
you got Cube.
Cube, yeah.
You got mad niggas. Mad niggas when you got Outkast came out in the 90s.
I feel like this only helps prove my point.
How? The bar was way higher then.
How if all these people are making it?
Bruh.
What do you?
But I mean,
That's like saying the bar is fucking lower now for NBA players.
I think,
and we have like 5 GOATs playing in our era.
I think this.
I don't know enough about
question.
the NBA to dispute you.
Look, I think this brings up a different question then, right? Is it harder to think up of a new idea or to expand that idea?
Exactly.
Right? Because these people came in when hip hop was in its infancy, right? So then now you have people coming in where hip hop is much more fleshed out, right? More mature, let's say. So was it harder for Jay-Z, Nas, Dre, Ice Cube, etc. to come in and say, this is hip hop to us. This is what it is. Like, and then basically kick it all off.
Exactly.
I think it's harder now to make that long-standing level of hip-hop.
Why?
Because once it's all fleshed out, people have heard already so many things. They already know what their ears are tuned to, what they want to hear. So when you try and come up with something new, a lot of times it doesn't stick. Or when you try to come up with a new concept or a new sound, people don't really want to hear that. They want to hear the Nas. They want to hear the Outkast.
People want to hear Nas. People don't want to hear boom bap music anymore. People like the new shit. But the thing is like, you're thinking I'm saying the bar was harder because I'm just saying like the level of competition was a lot more than what it is now.
I think he has a point.
Than everybody has now.
Well, because when we're talking about music back then, it wasn't as like the commercialization. I think that's a different point because I think by the 90s, those guys were still getting fucked over.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
But that's just on the fact them niggas not knowing their business.
Yeah. But
I think Nori signed his contract for like $5,000 cash.
Damn.
Yeah, but I feel like now it's easier to get more for less in terms of money.
Oh, if we're talking about it's easier to get on, I would say now than back then.
Yeah, so even though it's easier to
get on. I do get your point where you're saying like it's so much shit that people are just hearing everything. Yeah. It's kind of hard to get heard. But my point was just like back then it was kind of hard to even get on because think about it, even hard to get on back then you would have to know somebody, rap on the block for like a year, and then hopefully you meet somebody that you can rap. But think about it. Jay-Z was taken to every fucking label in the 90s, and niggas was like, yo, this nigga's trash, get him out of here.
Yeah. But all those people you named earlier from the 90s, they're fucking great, but it's 2019. We're able to look back and pick out all those fucking people. I feel like 10 years from now, we can pick out people from the 2000s and be like, yo, those
but they were that good, though. That's the thing.
I feel like we're going to be saying the same thing about Lupe.
But it's different for us, though, because we are the older. Yeah, but think about it. Even like Lupe and shit like that, yeah. But Lupe don't rap better than Nas or Hov. That's like two of the people that are always gonna be at the top.
I'm willing to bet there's people that will say that fucking Jadakiss doesn't rap better than Big Daddy Kane type shit.
But them niggas is old as shit though.
Them niggas is old as shit.
Them niggas was born in the 80s.
Shit.
And Kane is nasty too. Don't get it fucked up. Kane is nasty.
No, yeah,
Kane is the reason why Hov and all of them started being what they are.
Exactly. And there's people today that'll pick Lupe over Nas and Jay-Z.
Well, no, if you're gonna put it like that, yeah, music is subjective. There's gonna be what you think is better in that, but I think it's pretty cut and clear that Illmatic is the album of all albums as far as hip hop. It's the most classic album. Anytime something gets compared to something, be like, yo, that's not Illmatic though.
But at the same time, like what you're saying about people not wanting to hear Nas, it's because he hasn't changed, right?
No, it's because a lot of things now is like, yo, you know, rappers though is a young niggas game. So niggas like, yo, get that old nigga out of here. Niggas don't want to listen to that shit.
Only thing I would say to dispute what you said, like Lupe and them aren't as good as Nas and Hove. Like, give them more time.
But that's on a different level, though. Like, so me saying that's a different level of people. That's a different level of competition. Hove is like, there has to be a fucking LeBron to fuck with Jordan.
Right.
And I don't think there's a LeBron out there yet.
But I just feel like
to that level. To do everything he does.
Given more time, they could get pretty good, man.
Yeah, but I think Lupe had his window for that. Lupe had his window to be open for that. I don't think there's anybody that's close to... Like, it used to be that people always used to say that Drake is like the next Hov, but that's not at all what it is. Like,
we'll see. We'll see how they see him.
But lyrically, he's not on the same level. But if you want to put it like that, niggas right now would say like, yo, fucking Lil Pump is the god of all gods.
I mean, they're already talking that way about
exactly.
Triple X.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna just be.
They really do.
It's gonna be opinion based. This is all gonna be opinion based for sure. But I'm telling you to talk to some people who we know have the knowledge and the sense, not the motherfuckers who's on Twitter. That's the difference. There's niggas who we know got sense, and that's different. Like, there's niggas out here right now that never listened to a DMX record in their life.
Well, that point is something that's going on with like everything in any medium.
Well, that happens through everything though. Like, you wouldn't talk to somebody about politics who don't know shit about politics.
Well, I'm saying like,
or like anybody who don't know shit about games or something like that. Nigga try to come to you and be like, yo, like,
yeah,
some stupid shit like Super Smash Bros. Is way harder to play than Street Fighter.
Yeah,
that's a hot take.
Dude,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's just some niggas just talking shit to talk shit.
Yeah, but you can't wave dash in Street Fighter, so I feel that.
That's incredibly wrong, but...
You can wave dash?
What?
In Street Fighter?
No.
Oh.
But that's not difficult.
I hear you.
I mean...
I don't disagree.
I think to do that move, all you gotta do is like put the analog stick left and B, right?
For what?
Like to the wave dash or whatever it is. What is that?
No. Wave dash is like yeah, like you
go like this.
You jump or you move in a certain way that like the frames and the hitboxes match up in a way where you can't be attacked. And like you have to like do that.
Bro, that sounds like the easiest shit to do in the world.
No, it's not easy.
It's not easy, but it's not easy to learn, but once you learn it, it's not hard to do.
There was a whole like infinite combo with Magneto in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 where you had to wave dash to do it. But anyways, what I was trying to say is that every medium now is so saturated and people are so controlled into what they intake from that medium. Yeah. Example, how many times have you heard about Bird Box?
Exactly.
Right.
This is the point that I wanted to bring to it. It's just a manipulation thing. Like, a lot of people think that the reason why Bird Box popped up on your Twitter or your Netflix is just because it's by casualty. That's not it at all. Mm-hmm. Like, people still don't know that niggas get paid to make memes for them to hype shit up.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is.
Yep. And then everybody watches Bird Box, but they don't watch,
Baki.
Yeah, they don't watch Baki, or they don't watch, what's the Jonah Hill movie that came out?
Mid-90s.
Yeah. They don't watch mid-90s because they watch Bird Box.
Yeah, but we called it in the beginning when we went to go watch mid-90s at the early screening that mid-90s was going to be a cult classic movie.
Yeah.
Like, people who are going to go watch it are going to go watch it, but it's not going to be people outside, like your casual fans are not going to go watch it. But we called it then.
Right, but this all ties into like what you guys were talking about with rappers and certain rappers not being heard and not being remembered because the herd was pushed towards X rapper. You know what I mean?
That's true too. A lot of the, even in the 90s, rappers getting pushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, for sure. But then I think then it was easier to push a rapper than now because it's not as much as rappers now.
Right.
Like, so it was like, all right, so I would just be able to spend these marketing dollars on these rappers. Rather than now, it's like, if I want to spend marketing dollars on all these rappers, I'm going to fucking lose all my money.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Like, rather than that. It's just easier because it was certain people you could queue up on. Like, you knew that Hov was going to get all the budget, and then it trickles down for the rest.
Even against that, look how many people dropped a project last year.
Exactly.
That's a lot of people.
There's so much music I still have not heard from last year. So much music. And we do a podcast, nigga, and we heard a lot of music. A lot of music. That I would not have listened to rather than it being on podcast.
Outside of rap and all that.
Yeah, even outside of rap. It's so much music. We're not a fucking podcast that listens to one type of music. We listen to a lot of music.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of albums that come out. I mean, there's still hip hop probably put out the most albums in general this year. But I guess we could just keep on this topic too. So, as far as a split of what do you think good music and bad music is, how much would you split it to?
I want to answer this last.
You always want to answer last, so you can, so he can.
No, because I have my answer.
I think it's 50-50 always though.
So what you're asking like what percentage of music?
Yeah,
is
basically,
good
because you know
versus what
niggas be like,
percentage
yo,
is
it's
bad?
nothing but trash music now. Like it's all the little niggas and all that, and it's nothing but trash music.
So since I'm the oldest here,
Exactly.
right, I'll go
That's
first.
why. That's why.
My man's about to say.
Well, I
10
already said. I think it's 50-50 always.
I disagree. I think that almost nothing in the world is exactly 50-50. Like literally, even male to female birth rates aren't 50-50.
Oh yeah, no,
Right. So I would say that
You
good
just gotta
music,
do it enough times.
flip the coin enough, right? So
You'll get there eventually. Just stop.
well, I mean, there's some people that would agree with that, but the music.
Hello, Colt.
Join the AB cult. With music, I would say that most of it is not good. And
If you had to put it in a split, what would you put?
40-60.
40-60.
That's not bad.
Because I think that, like you've already said, it's subjective anyways.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of people go into it without actually thinking of it as an art. You know the people that are the artists. You know, they're like, I've studied this. I want to do something. Doesn't make it good music per se.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of people just go into it like, oh yeah, I can make a song. I'm gonna drop something.
Exactly.
Check out my SoundCloud.
Hop on GarageBand.
Every
real quick.
dash. What do you got for the splits? We're gonna get back to that topic of
Yeah.
hip hop being an R or not, because AB dash that's out there.
Do you say it's a 40-60?
Yeah.
40,
Like
60.
40% good, 60% bad? I think
Yeah.
it's 30-70. I think it's 30% good.
I didn't want to drop down under 40 just because I feel like I want to give like a 10% buffer to music I don't like,
Yeah.
but isn't necessarily bad music.
Exactly.
I'm saying 30% with
Because
that
that's the same way I feel that there's 20% of music that I don't like, but it's not bad music.
Right. And there's
And then I'll give the other 30% of music that I actually do like.
there's a lot of music that I don't like, but I can
I
understand.
would
other
have thought
people
your split
liking
would have
it.
been way bigger because you like these little niggas. I don't really like these little niggas like that.
I look, I do like them.
Exactly.
And my percentage is still that low because I still think there's so much stuff that I just don't like, and it's like.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that we don't know as well. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I gave it a 50% because I think for every good that there's bad. So I think that's how like life just works in general for me. It's like a yin yang balance. For every good there's bad. For every one good person there is, there's a bad person.
But you know what the argument against that is? Like, if the universe is like this where there's good and bad,
Yeah.
right, and it's 50-50 yin and yang, then you would be saying that 50% of the population is intelligent while 50% isn't. And it's more dispersed than that.
Yeah, but you think that's because like a genetic thing, or that's because of the resources?
It's I mean, it's
That's
genetic,
the thing.
environmental,
That's the thing with me. It's like,
etc.
I don't know, but I would definitely, I definitely don't think it's 30-70 though. Like, I don't think there's more bad shit out here than good shit for sure.
30-70 seems pretty critical,
Yeah, exactly.
but I'm not completely against it.
It's possible that number is correct.
It's possible.
Well, we would never know how it is, but I just think like it's just the thing with anything in the media that everything bad gets highlighted.
I just feel like we have a bigger opportunity to hear more bad stuff now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everything that's bad gets highlighted because niggas always think like this shit's fun.
But also, in this new age, we're also be able to put onto more stuff that's good that we wouldn't have gotten the chance to listen to.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's just harder to find.
I guess. There's
Dude, think about
there's
it.
some avenues.
No,
and some
it
mediums.
is harder to find out because now with streaming platforms like that they just do the same thing they used to do back then. It's just like with the playlist, they'll just put whatever artist from the label pays to be put in the playlist.
With streaming platforms, I'm not 100% with it, but they do have that sort of like algorithm thing where like if you like this, you'll probably like that.
I was
And you
just
haven't
about
heard
to
of-
say, I hate that. I hate that so much. Like on Netflix, it'll be like, you watch Baki, so you would like, you
and
know.
then it's all anime shit.
Or on Girls Club.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I would not like that.
Exactly.
They have nothing to do with each other.
Their algorithm based shit on a lot of stuff is like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like YouTube's algorithm shit. I watch one video on YouTube. My whole thing is full of fucking videos like that on YouTube.
Yeah,
like,
that's
that
true.
one video.
That's true, but sometimes YouTube be putting me onto some good ass shit.
Sometimes, but how much more times is it? Oh, like yo, somebody sending you a link to something, you click on that shit, and it's like next day it's all videos of that one thing.
Absolutely, all the time.
Exactly. Like I think that the way they do it is kind of stupid.
That's why I gotta have the burner YouTube account for all the links.
I just
booted
sign
my
out.
dad off that. I booted my dad off that YouTube day, boy. And they was looking at some mixer shit, and my whole thing was full of mixers. I'm out now.
My dad's YouTube is just bikes and like salsa dancing videos.
Exactly. I would love to go like. Before I go on a date with a chick, I would love to see what her algorithm-based things is on all streaming platforms and YouTube.
Any girl saw my YouTube shit, she'd probably think I'm the biggest loser on the earth because it's just all competitive Pokemon, old RuneScape videos, and like
Your YouTube is trash.
and video essay analysis.
Your YouTube
Are you trying to
is
say that's your dad that's looking at that?
That's me.
Oh, okay.
Your YouTube is trash. My shit's all comedy shit.
Wow.
Yo, mine's random. Mine's like Joe
My shit's
Rogan.
all comedy. It'll be Rogan.
Yeah.
The Fire and the Kid.
I'll get that stuff like those interviews, like
the Joe
Breakfast
Budden
Club, Joe Rogan,
podcast.
stuff like that.
Music documentaries. And
I'll
stuff
get
like that.
like chess analysis videos from games from like between 1900 and 1940.
Nah, if it based on that, they'll probably think you were smart. Because motherfuckers look at anybody who plays chess like they're a fucking genius, dog.
Yo, Pokemon is just 2018 chess.
Look. I just went to YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? Here's what I'm saying.
All right, let's do this.
All right,
Recommended.
we're gonna do this. Let's do it.
Recommended. Joe Rogan, do aliens exist? Then the second video that's recommended, Yuri on Ice is not that special. Okay.
Is Yuri on Ice?
It's an anime.
All right, don't go through all of them. Just go through a few.
No,
of
I'm
them.
going through the top 4
right.
or 5.
All right, so that's what we'll do. We'll go through the top 5 then.
Number 3, Norm Macdonald's sexist jokes. Number
Nigga
4,
trying to get fired from his job.
Number 4, this is what it's like to work in Japan. Girl Abroad, episode 1. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense if you know Stevenson.
Yeah, but okay. And then number 5, Chrono Trigger piano.
Baby Dash, go through your top 5.
So this title is not going to make sense if you're not into like the thing, but I'm going to read it out anyways.
Yeah, this nigga always got a purpose. Something.
It's called Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon OU Showdown with Pokemon MD and MV.
Damn.
Then I have
Yo, I need a weekly update on this nigga's recommendations on YouTube. That shit's hilarious. This nigga.
You need to make that a drop.
Dragon Ball GT is Trash by Inpax,
Ooh.
which is a video analysis essay.
He doesn't even want to read this.
Go for it, bro.
Low Level High Risk PKing by Frame. That's a RuneScape video.
Yo, who the fuck plays RuneScape?
Worst albums of 2018 by Sean C.
Alright.
And Greninja got the drip. Elite Smash.
Oh
Number
my
14 by
God.
Shofu.
That video sounds horrible.
It's Super Smash Bros.
Alright, number 1 is my Barstool Pizza reviews. I watched those today, so I knew those were going to be on it. Number 2 is Chauncey Billups, and this is the ESPN fucking show. It's called The Jump. Number 4 is Joe Rogan, Michael. I don't know what the fuck his last name is.
Michael Bublé?
No, that's not Michael Bublé. No, number 4 is Chris D'Elia, funniest podcast moments. And then number 5 is Barstool Rundown of January. But that comes from the pizza video.
Mine sounds the worst.
I mean,
1000%. We knew yours was going to sound the worst for sure.
At least there's no like hentai.
if I would have kept going, it would
Hint
have
on
been bad.
YouTube, dude?
Yeah. You never typed in
Dude.
girls kissing when you were 7?
No.
Dude, YouTube has a lot of videos that slip through the cracks. And I'm not talking about hentai, I'm talking about everything.
Talking about
There's-
Elsagate?
Dude, there's
I
a
guess you
video.
gotta know.
There's a video on YouTube. If you back in the day, you could check for like how to shave your vagina, and it's some lady completely
Shaving her
naked
vagina?
in her tub, just doing her thing
I mean, look. That video probably helped a lot of people.
to jerk off. Yeah.
Alright, wait, let's go back on topic before I fucking forget.
All
Another point that we had was
Is it Elsagate?
no.
Oh.
I don't even know what that is.
Yo.
So is hip hop an art form to you?
Yes.
That's open ended to anybody.
Say yes.
But you said no the other day.
That it's not an art
Yeah,
form?
he said it's not.
Then what is it?
Because the argument that he has is the argument from Vince Staples is that
what I said is that I used to agree with Vince.
Yeah.
And then I no longer agree with Vince.
You want to
Vince's argument that hip hop is not art is because hip hop they can't be considered an art form because it's traded immediately for commerce.
Exactly.
It's not given time to last.
Which is kind of a good point though. Because it's like instead of letting something appreciate in value like a painting or like a statue or something like that, we sell it for $1.99 as our culture.
Right, and not even you sell it.
Yeah.
You give it to somebody.
You give it to somebody. You make 10% of that.
Cents.
You probably make 10 cents off of everything. So it's basically, I guess, in the consumer based thing, that would be like, is it art or is it not? But it took it to a different conversation to me of like us not appreciating what we have rather than that.
I don't like that argument.
What do you mean? What?
So you make your music and it gets sold and it's not art because it got sold?
Well, if from the consumer base, like instead of it letting
Okay.
like how Wu-Tang did their last album where it was like
they sold it for $2 million.
They sold it for $2 million, but it was only one copy.
Yeah, sure. But then that's like saying that Michelangelo's sculptures, because they were commissioned by the church, are not art because he got paid to do that.
Yeah. But I think the point that he was trying to make is that we don't appreciate what we have as much as like other forms of art.
It's like he's saying that he doesn't own it.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like him saying like
there's no ownership of his own art.
It's basically him saying that we're like people say like cooking is an art form, but niggas is out here selling McDonald's.
Well, is classical music art?
Yeah, but classical music
because
you can't buy.
It was commissioned by churches as well.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying, but his point is kind of like, I think that his point wasn't to say that it's not art. I think his point was to say that
it can never be treated the same way. As
it won't be held at the highest standard like that, as well as like a Michelangelo painting or Mona Lisa, something like that.
It's tough to have this conversation right now because I don't think any of us agree with him. So
I don't agree with it. I get where he was trying to go with that.
No,
but I don't agree with it.
My example is bad because, for example, he's getting paid, whoever it is, Michelangelo, Raphael, whoever, right, to make this painting. However, that's the only one.
Yeah, there's only one of them.
So versus Jay-Z's album is
it's like billions sold.
Well, because you don't pay for the art, you pay for the medium.
Exactly.
You pay for the MP3.
Right.
Like if you go to the art museum, you can get a fucking Van Gogh on a tote bag. It doesn't cost $10. It costs $19.99.
No, I remember what Vince Staples' point was actually when I'm in the podcast. He was saying that artists usually die broke. He was like, ain't none of these niggas ready to die broke from their music. Niggas want to get paid for it.
I think that's still bad. I think I understand what you guys are saying and where he's coming from, but I think he's limiting himself. He's trying to define it in that fashion and not thinking
that's only from
it.
like a monetary point.
Right. Which is not a bad point. Yeah. But it's still limiting.
But I do think that
he brings up another argument saying that like back into the whole Montessori point, like saying how you treat your own art is that the person, like when you go to the Target and there's a picture in the frame, you're not comparing that guy who takes that fucking picture to like the biggest photographers in the world, even though it's still the same shit.
Yeah.
Like they're saying that the guy in the Target will never be like the guy in the museum, but why not? It's a fucking picture. He's doing the same thing.
I think his point was just the mass production.
Yeah, he's saying like, I'm selling my shit for 99 cents, but I'll never be considered one of the great artists because I'm doing this, because I'm putting my shit in the Target.
Right. But I think that's a lot of societal things anyways. You know how they always try to diminish things from our culture rather than other cultures. Like classical music, you could be the best classical music person in the world and you get renowned for it. But like Jay-Z's like, whatever.
Nope.
Well, not anymore, but at a point.
No. You know how many composers died just trash?
Well, that's his point. But he's saying like for a top one.
I think
like we know who Beethoven is. We know who fucking Bach is. We know who.
But we don't know the nigga in the Target.
Exactly.
Look, I think to summarize it in a more understandable fashion for myself at least, and maybe people like me, what he's trying to argue is that because of the way the medium is, it cheapens the art.
Yeah, it cheapens. I think that's what he means. That it cheapens the art.
It's not that it's not art. Like you guys said, it's just never going to be compared to, I'm not sure a Jay-Z album is ever going to be compared to like
and I don't fall under the
Hold on now, we might do that though.
And I don't fall under the umbrella where it's for me to say that it's easy to rap. That's only because I only hold the people who I hold very highly accountable. Like, I can never rap like Doom. Ever. And there's a lot of people who can never rap like Doom.
Look, if you're a real hip-hop fan, you've already tried to rap. And there's a reason why we're not making music. We're just not fucking.
Some niggas don't give up on that dream either.
I know.
Sure, bro. Mixtape on the way. 2019 is it.
Wait until we get like a huge fan base that I know that would buy that shit.
Oh, dude, the AB-Flex tape, it's here.
Dude, that has to happen.
Dude, come on, man. You know, once you build a fucking big enough fan base, you can sell niggas anything.
My cult will like it.
Basically, a fan base is a cult. If you want to put it in there. 1,000 more until the point like where niggas is gonna kill
Let's say
themselves.
that every fan base has cult-like people.
Yeah,
in it.
they have cult-like people in it, for sure. But it's basically the same thing. It's just like anybody tunes in and whatever you have to say. Now, will people take it to the fucking point where it's like, yeah, if I say I'm gonna die, we'll all die and type shit?
Shut out a little
I would say a small percentage of that one is. But think about it. If Rogan was to drop a T-shirt, it would sell out in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Who? If he wanted to, Rogan. Or like,
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, like that's just what it is. Like, you know, his ticket sales sell super quick. Like, that's what it is.
So we agree that.
No, everybody here agrees that art is an art. I mean, hip hop is an art form for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
I agree.
We just did that to bring up a conversation. A lot of shit that we talk about on here, we don't really believe is just to bring up a conversation.
My thing that took me a while to like really think about and understand was like his thing about ownership of it. Like, why is it sold at this price? And
exactly.
That's why I came to the conclusion about the media.
That was a conversation that I was having in my brain. It was like, who the fuck decided that $1 is worth my single? Why can't I just sell my single for $10 if I wanted to? And then it took me to think of people like Nipsey Hussle who has an outlet called Proud to Pay, where at one point he was selling this album for $1,000.
You know what's interesting?
And he was selling this. I think he sold an album for $100 as well. I think Hope bought 10 of the 1,000 albums.
Here's the thing. Here's what's really interesting. If we're gonna crack this wide open, like this conversation.
Oof.
What?
Go.
Anyways, so he's saying the thing about selling the music and etc.
Yeah.
Right. So did he ever say what he would like it to be like?
No.
Okay.
I think that's a conversation that I don't think he thinks can be had on.
Okay.
Because they definitely had a bigger conversation off the mic for sure.
Just bring the composure.
Those three people in that conversation was Styles P, Joey Badass, and Vince Staples.
Okay.
Joey Badass is 47 minutes. I think it's interview.
Like,
those three are very intelligent people in 3 different ways. So I'm pretty sure they had a conversation.
Vince's argument style is bringing up a point that you're not ready to defend, and then just hammering it on, and then not continuing to talk about what he would like to do with it.
Is that the Socratic method?
That's why
like that.
he likes Vince Staples, and I'm pointing at AB- for everybody.
I do like Vince Staples a lot.
No, we all do like Vince Staples, but it's easier to crack you because you're like, oh, that's a thought I never had. So yeah. Maybe he might be right. You're easier to like.
But I like that. I guess to start thinking about it because it's stuff I never thought
about.
No,
he definitely makes people start thinking about other things than that. But he's one of those people that can get you to think about something that happens very often in whatever society, and then
make you see it in a different way.
Yeah, make you see it in a different way. He's really good at talking, like shit like that.
Yeah, because
he's needed for sure.
For me, you can bring something up, but if you're not bringing something to the table, then there's no conversation.
That is one of my biggest things. Is like if you're just gonna talk and not bring up any, if you're just gonna bring up the problem and no solutions, then what the fuck are you talking about? That's one of the main reasons why we started this podcast, because there's a lot of bullshit podcasts out, and not even that. I don't think there's a lot of podcasts out for what we talk about rather than what everybody else talks about.
It's like going into somebody's house and saying, "Hey, man, this wall color is ugly as fuck," and then you're like, "Okay, so what should it be?" And they're like, "I don't know, it's just ugly." It's like, then why'd you even say that?
Exactly.
Like, you have nothing to say.
Or like say like, yo, you should like a lot of people like to say, yo, you shouldn't worry about that problem. Like, nigga, then tell me what the fuck I should do. Like,
what should I worry about then, bitch?
Not that.
No, I hate both sides, I guess, right? Where you're like, because sometimes you're thinking out loud.
Yeah.
So you'll bring up like Vince Staples said, like, I don't think it's art because of this, right?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, well, then what are you gonna do about it? It's like, I don't know. I just started thinking about it.
Yeah.
Shut up.
But I
haven't gotten that far.
I just think his point was more the cheapening than anything else.
But I still think it's important to bring it up even if you don't have the answer because you can talk about it and find an answer.
But
it's the way you bring it up.
Yeah, he did bring up a good point to me, but he didn't bring it up like directly. But it's like, who the fuck decided that my music is worth this much? Like, there's people that are willing to pay other forms of money for this music.
That's why I wanted to hear if he said like what it should be like, because it almost sounds like he's saying he wants more for his music. Like, you know,
yeah, I think he was just bringing up the topic to see what Styles and Joy Badass would say. This motherfucker also said that at one point in the fucking interview, he was well, not the interview, in the conversation. Well, he was like, yo, are you spiritual or religion, or are you religion based? And he was like, I don't think he said anything. He was like, whatever. And then South P was just like, so you believe niggas go somewhere after they die? He was like, I mean, niggas gotta go somewhere after they get popped. Like, I was fucking dying because the reaction that South P had to that was the same reaction that I would have.
He started cracking up.
He just started cracking up and put his hand on his face and he was like, yo, this nigga's crazy. He was like, thank you, my nigga. You an interesting nigga. I'm glad I met you. Because that's exactly how I feel about Vince Staples.
No, it's like, I don't know where they go, but they gotta go somewhere.
He's like, man, niggas get shot. He's like, when niggas get popped, they gotta go somewhere. But I do understand like why he's like that in certain forms. It's because like where he comes from, he used the game, but he's a crib. So it's kind of like, nigga, it's very cut and dry with me. He's like, y'all niggas is talking about and worrying about something that niggas from my neighborhood is not even worrying about at all. Because like niggas got to think about they're gonna die tomorrow.
I think an important pretext for why he probably thinks about the commerce of music is that why he started getting into music was to buy guns.
Yeah.
To sell guns.
Yeah. So it's a lot different. He's definitely one of those motherfuckers who, you know, like, actually does shit that these rappers talk about, or did shit that these rappers talk about, but he just doesn't talk about it. And I respect that more than anything.
Hey, man.
Authenticity,
Look,
I respect that.
All I know, brother, is that on January 21st, we're getting the Wolf Moon.
I don't know what that means.
Coming soon.
You gotta talk to your astrology bitches on that one, Jordan.
Chill. They listen.
Do we have anything else on that?
On that interview shit?
On that interview?
Yo.
I don't think we had anything else on there.
Should you drink or eat juice? You should eat everything, right? And not blend anything? Or what?
What do you mean? You're saying like blending
because aren't the fibers
fruits?
Really important to eat?
No, sorry. So drinking juices drinking fruits actually makes you makes you fatter because
it's all the sugar.
Yeah, it's all the sugar. It doesn't let your saliva break down a lot of those things.
I heard that you should eat your fruits and drink your vegetables.
I've heard similar.
I would say either or. I drink my vegetables. Y'all know I drink my vegetables, but I do throw in some fruits in there because I can't drink a full. Because
that's just a flavor thing, though.
It's just a flavor reason. No, but they do say that you should not eat your fruits. I mean, drink your fruits because it doesn't allow. If you drink a banana, it would give you all the sugars rather than if you're eating a banana, some of the sugar dissolves in the saliva, filled in the saliva, some shit like that. So if it's 64 grams of sugar in that banana and you drink it, you're getting 64 grams of sugar.
So
that's the problem with these acai bowls or like smoothie shits that people like to drink and think they're healthy, but that shit has more sugar in it than you rather just eat more.
Yeah, because when you blend it at high speeds, which they do, you'll break up the compound. So you no longer have your fruit sugars bound to your fibers. Now you just have the sugar, and the fibers have been like destroyed.
Yeah, and fiber cuts sugar for those people.
Yeah, it helps your body with digestion.
And it doesn't cut sugar in the way that I thought it did. Remember when we had that conversation?
Yeah. Why does the fiber get destroyed but not the sugar? Because the fiber is just what holds it together, isn't it?
I think
when you blend it, it doesn't hold together anymore.
I'm not a chemist.
I think that's what it is.
I think it's because the fiber is in less abundance.
Yeah.
Like you have a lot of sugar.
There's a lot of sugar.
Like an apple, apple's like what, 40 grams of sugar and like 3 grams of fiber?
I mean, that's the whole purpose.
Damn, apple's 40 grams of sugar?
No, I don't know.
I was about to say, holy fuck.
Well, let's just keep the ratio up. So it's like 1 to 5, 1 to 8.
Just Google it. Green apple, because I don't even read
Because the whole purpose of fruit, from the tree's perspective, is to be fucking delicious, isn't it?
I don't know what tree told you that, but I don't know. I guess it's just
no, because it's the whole purpose is to get eaten and then shit it out.
Well,
so it's supposed to taste good.
But it's supposed to give you your nutrients as well.
To whomst?
To you, nigga.
So I mean, not naturally.
Yeah,
naturally.
naturally.
About that. Trees?
So it's not giving me like green apples. It's just giving me apples.
Alright, so just the good apples.
And for one medium apple, it's
How much does supersize
19
it?
grams of sugar. Huh?
How much
That's
does
not
supersize it?
Yes,
Super.
19
All right,
grams of
hold
sugar
on.
is definitely more than I thought it was.
Let me get you an American apple here. One large apple. So it's
GMO, the fuck.
23 grams of sugar, 5 grams of fiber.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like 1 to 4. We should do 1 to 5. 1 to 5.
Close, yeah. So basically, that's what I would say. Like the sugars survive probably because of their chemical compound. Actually, the way that they're bound is probably why they can survive. Versus fiber, it can't.
They're not prone to shredding.
You didn't
Possibly.
you didn't hear what this motherfucker said earlier though.
What do you
What?
say?
It was like the chief point is only just to make it taste good, and I was like, nah, it's for your nutrients too. He was like, for whom?
Do you think the tree cares that I'm getting fucking 100 grams of fiber a day?
Well, now we're getting into like who makes the tree.
Yeah, that's a different conversation. That's the thing.
But do you think when the fruit is growing on the tree, they're like, yeah, this motherfucker needs 8 grams of this and 20
I think
Yes.
I think the person who created everything definitely made that for that reason.
Is there an architect? And
Yeah.
if there is,
Well, you have to understand that like
I think
certain things
I
only
think
grow
this
in
isn't just a
certain areas.
mathematical equation
Yeah.
that we're here.
Right. So if we're gonna say that certain things only grow in certain areas, and the only reason why Italy has tomatoes is because of America. Let's just go with this, right?
Yeah.
So whatever's nutrients tomatoes supplement is replaced by something else potentially in the
Yes.
Italian farm place.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when we introduce tomatoes, we're adding more stuff that they don't really need because they're already getting that nutrient from something else.
It's kind of not necessarily don't really need. You're just introducing another
In a
thing
different
to the
way.
Yeah,
resource.
you just not
Right.
introduce that resource now. We're just so happen to be born in a time where we're introduced.
So once I start-
every resource.
All right. So let's say once tomatoes are officially moved to Italy and I start growing them over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They still have the same amount of stuff if I were going to grow them anywhere else, shouldn't they?
No, because I think a lot of the things that are being planted they get their nutrients from the soil. So depending on the soil base,
What was your
it'd
question?
be different. He said if he grew tomatoes here, would they be the same nutrients as the tomato in Italy?
So possibly
I
not.
think I think it's a lot of the soil has to be.
I think it's kind of like
Attracted to
you're going to have an average tomato, and that average tomato is going
Yeah.
to be the same everywhere. But it's possible that Italy's fertile ground for tomatoes, so you're going to have better
And
quality.
don't-
Right, but
tomatoes.
my question is that the average tomato, right? It doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
about
but
me.
the only thing is about quote unquote average tomatoes is because we get it all from one source.
Yeah.
That's the only reason we can have an average.
Well, I mean,
What do you
super
mean?
GMO.
we only get it from Super GMO one place.
Dude.
That's it.
Says who?
Monsanto seeds, baby. That's what you're eating.
Yeah, you're getting the same kind. That's the only way you can average it.
I'm not
Because you're
talking
getting
about
the same
now.
one.
Like I'm talking about before, like when it was
Before.
first introduced and shit.
So,
Because we know now that shit's not what a tomato is.
nah, yeah.
No. So you're saying before, like if you got a seed from Italy and planted it here,
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it wouldn't be the same tomato.
Like when trees were popping.
yeah, it wouldn't be the same tomato.
It would.
Because they don't care.
No, it would because that crop would take a certain type of soil to grow.
Yeah, that's true. It wouldn't grow
If
otherwise. yeah.
if it grew,
But if you could get it to grow, it would not be the same.
it could mutate to
Wait,
grow.
which way? So latitude is up and down, and longitude is left and right, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just fuck.
It's
all
a
this
50-50. We
So
right
the-
or wrong.
So Rome and New York are on the same left and right,
Okay.
Yeah,
right?
where you
So
going with
whatever
this?
grows over there is
No,
not.
it's not gonna grow.
Let me fucking finish.
I know where you're going with this. It's
Whatever
not
grows
gonna
over
grow
there is not guaranteed to grow on the other side
No,
just because
no.
we're on the same thing, right?
No.
But let's say like it's like a perfect match somewhere else, right?
Then it will grow.
Then it would grow like the same,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
If it was if it was the exact same soil, it would grow. But it's not going to be.
So you're
climate
basically
matters, yeah.
tricking.
Yeah, the climate
you're
is totally
tricking the plant into believing it's somewhere else.
No,
I
you're
think
not
you're
tricking
thinking
the
of
plant.
this a little too deep. I don't think that bamboozling the plant. No,
You
that's-
definitely bamboozled the plant
No.
because it wouldn't grow anywhere else.
No, the plant doesn't care where
Yeah,
it's
it's-
growing.
yeah, it's
it
just
cares
grows.
about. Well,
That's
it cares,
what I'm trying to. It
no,
doesn't
no.
give a fuck about us.
They do.
If they were
They gave
meant,
themselves up
yeah,
for
they
us.
were meant to be there for a
That's-
reason. That's the
you're-
thing.
if
But
there's
that
an
just goes back to
architect,
another
then he
different
makes it
conversation.
that
We
way.
just did a whole circle. That goes to a different conversation.
I feel like I ended up arguing against myself at the end of this.
Yeah.
But
The thing is, it just goes back to that same conversation where it's like
that they're supposed to
the
taste
person
good,
that
aren't they?
created this was it for us?
Oh, here's
That's
my
the thing,
original
that's the
point: is that they're supposed to taste good to entice us to eat them and shit them.
I think some things are supposed to taste good to entice you to get bad shit in your stomach too as well, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because
So there's
plants
a
just wanna be
balance to
left
that
the fuck
shit.
alone.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
then again,
symbiotic
a lot of things
relationship.
that what you think taste good is because your preference
Right,
rather
because-
than other things.
Look, apples fall for a reason, bro.
It's a
Because I don't like
symbiotic
eggplants, but
relationship.
eggplants are good for you.
Yo, eggplants dead us look like eggs when they're first like growing.
Eggplants are pretty gross.
Yeah,
You don't like eggplants?
Nah,
I don't.
eggplants are gross, man.
It's a consistency issue.
Yeah,
I hear you.
The seeds and stuff in it.
Seeds. When I eat eggplant parmesan, there's no. Really
Oh, because they fry
right,
it.
Yeah, okay.
They fry it and dry it
Yeah.
out.
they fry
No,
what?
and dry it out.
Yeah.
If you actually
Oh,
eat
sure.
eggplants
Yeah, eggplant
like
has
the
a
way
bunch of
Dominicans
seeds, yeah.
eat it,
I mean, I've had it grilled and stuff too, when it's just literally just cut. Seeds
Well, yeah,
and
but they
everything.
cut the seeds out though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no. But if you eat it like the way your mom cooks it, a lot of the times, and the way my parents cook it, it's literally almost like a mush.
Right. So,
I'm not a fan.
so all right.
It's
So I saw this shit on Twitter the other day. This shit had me dying. The nigga was like, "Yo, I asked my homeboy, how do you get a seedless watermelon?" The nigga was like, "You plant seedless seeds." But he was being 100% serious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro. How do you? I know it's genetically modified, but I want to know how the fuck do you get that without the seeds in it?
You just create the original seed, right?
Without that molecule
Without
or
that
something?
gene for reproduction, so it's not going to grow seeds of its own.
You make the watermelon asexual.
Yeah, or you make it a
Is it?
virgin
Is that what it is for real?
because it can't.
Not
Reproduce.
Because I know-
That's basically what
I know.
it is.
I know when you grow.
It can't reproduce. Well,
When you grow, I saw it on. I think I was on Vice when they were talking about when you grow marijuana plants, or even when you grow cannabis. It's the males don't grow anything, but the males have to be present for the female.
Females to
grow.
bud.
Yeah,
that's pretty cute,
it's kind of like the ice climbers on
Relationship goals.
on Super Mario's.
right? Or like the clownfish and the anemone.
Dude,
The
is
sea
that?
anemone.
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 Yeah.
The sea anemone.
Yeah, this nigga's been wild. That piece of got this nigga
Anemone.
faded.
Did you say anemone?
I think I should eat before podcasts and you should eat before podcasts.
Shit, I
Because this
haven't
nigga
eaten,
be
bro.
faded, kid. This nigga be faded.
Dead
Oh,
ass,
so
like
for any of your listeners out there too that do whey protein, if you're blending it, you're destroying that protein. Don't
thought you were
blend it.
supposed
What? You told me I could blend
Not
it.
a blender, not in a blender. Like if you have
Like
a shaker cup.
NutriBullet. Is what I'm saying. Oh, this nigga been bamboozling me the whole time. This nigga told me I could blend that
I've
shit.
always seen people stir it in with a
There's-
spoon.
Nah, yeah, I stir with a spoon most of the time, though.
That's what I was gonna say. There's like you can blend it, but it has to be a specific amount of time, or else you're destroying the protein.
Oh, no, dude, I know people who leave that shit on
Yeah,
there. And I'm like,
you're destroying the
nigga.
protein.
Yo, people still fuck with whey protein, or have we like leveled up to something crazy?
So there's
There's
here's
a lot of different proteins. Whey personally works way better for me.
So you have whey protein, then you have
Right.
casein protein,
right.
right? Both come from milk. Then you have soy protein. Then you have
Soy
protein,
protein's trash.
like pea protein. I meant. Then
Which
you
one's
have
gonna get
hemp
me fucking
protein.
ripped?
Whey.
Whey.
Whey protein's
And the
really
reason
fucking
being
trash.
is because your body uses all of it. It's 100%
But
efficient
some people's body can't take it.
because if you're lactose
Yeah, if you're
intolerant.
lactose intolerant.
But what
Also,
you can do-
what about if you like gluten wise? That's it.
Gluten doesn't matter for whey. It's
So
pure
if
protein.
your body literally can't take it, just shit it out like crazy, or like
It's
It
if,
would
if you're
fuck up your
lactose
stomach.
if you're lactose intolerant, you're gonna have laxative effects from
Yeah.
lactose. But what you can do to try to help is you can mix your protein shake with a probiotic or a prebiotic
But
in
your
it.
body uses all of it, no matter how much you take.
Its efficiency is 100%.
Yeah.
Your body knows when you drink it. It's like this is all protein. Use it.
Yeah.
If you drink like, I think pea protein's 80%. So if you had 10 grams of pea protein, 8 grams of that, your body's like, this is protein, and then 2 grams is gonna be like, I don't know what that is. And it's
How do
like,
I
don't
trick
think
my
it-
body into taking everything in at all times?
That is impossible.
That
Yeah,
also would
it's
be
impossible.
bad, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but no,
it's
you.
pretty bad.
But the bad parts that you do digest 100%. You digest 100% of fats.
Oh,
So-
so I'd be dead immediately.
Yeah. If you eat nothing but fats, it digests 100%.
I wouldn't be able to store anything.
No, your body.
No,
That's
it would
what
store.
happens.
That's what I'm saying. It would store all
I
fats.
thought you said it digested all of it.
Well, it would store all fats.
He meant-
When
he meant
then you digest it.
He meant that it'll store. What happens is in your body, right?
Right.
The human body wants to live, right?
Of course.
So it's going to take any excess calories, right? Anything like that, and it's going to say, I'm going to store this as fat for later when I can't eat, right? So that's why people get fat, period. Right. So if you're trying to force your body into like taking in everything that you
chill,
eat,
this isn't a Joe Rogan podcast, guys. We gotta go back on topic.
No.
We're doing 30 minutes on protein.
So if my body was 100% efficient at all times,
yeah,
nothing would get stored, right? Because
if you're
it would have to be. You would have to store things.
No. It would have to because if let's say the limit's like the classic 2000, if I do 2200, that 2000 is done. But that 200 has to go somewhere, and that still be 100%.
Well, what I was gonna say is like you're saying 100% efficient, but efficiency depends on the job.
Huh?
Efficiency depends on the job.
Yeah.
So if your body's job is
tell that to the Amazon workers.
I'm sure they do on their bonuses, but
for sure,
your body uses it to feed you as you are now, and it also stores for later. Right. So if it was 100% efficient, you would still get fat if you ate too much.
Oh. So you can take the whey protein and still be stupid as shit.
I mean, whey doesn't
whey
affect your intelligence.
Smart, but all right.
You can take the whey protein and still be a fat fuck.
Yeah, 1000%. If you just take whey protein, you just sit down and you fucking dog. So you
have to do something afterwards or before.
Just make sure you're active.
Yeah, you're just active. Like if you took whey protein and just walked all day.
Dude, it's not a dietary supplement.
Yeah. Also, it's not steroids.
It's
nigga.
protein.
It's just protein.
It's pure protein.
You can eat chicken all fucking day and sit down. You're not gonna be jacked.
Oh yeah, look, it's pure protein, man.
That's all it is. This nigga's thinking it's a steroid. Like he's just.
I'm literally thinking that it's like a dietary supplement.
No.
So, it has been proven that if you take whey protein in a normal diet with normal activity, your lean body mass will go up and your fat will go down. Because it's just protein and your body uses all of it, right? So the idea is if you're going to use 300 calories for your whey protein and you take away 300 calories of Doritos, guess what's going to happen to your body?
Exactly.
It's going to be very upset.
At first.
Time to get back on the topics. We finished the hip hop shit. Right?
That was a good break though.
Yeah, for sure. That was like 30 minutes. I was talking about protein.
No,
niggas gonna be tired when they click back on this shit.
People are gonna skip to like the 30-minute mark. We're talking about fucking fruits in Italy.
You niggas need to be healthy anyways.
I hope they skip to the point where you're like, that tomato doesn't give a fuck about me.
That's what I'm saying. That's a weird concept to even think about. Like, that tomato don't give a fuck about me. Like, why do you even care if that tomato cares about me? You can eat a tomato or not, nigga. That's it.
This is gonna be one of those things where tomorrow I would forget that I said it. It's gonna be referenced to me. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, this week there wasn't a lot of shit to talk about anyway. So it's good we went on fucking rants. It's been very slow. Always in the holidays, the shit to talk about is always slow because niggas aren't announcing shit.
Yeah.
One conversation I did want to have, we talked about this shit, a lot of other shit, is StockX, like everybody's saying StockX is the killer of reselling business or whatever, right? So they're starting to open up physical stores to where like you can bring in, like say if like a Supreme box logo sell out, you can go and walk to the store and they give you the money. Like it's quicker. And that's the conversation that we had, that if it was a quicker thing, it would be a lot easier to kill the market off.
Are they also reselling in these stores?
Well, StockX is a resale market. So basically, StockX is literally like a stock thing. So basically, it would have you saying how much you want to sell the product for, and somebody saying how much they're willing to pay for the product.
Oh, so it's kind of like the eBay stores?
Imagine an agent.
Kind of. It says you can always sell shit immediately as well. So basically, somebody says they want to pay $500 for the sneakers, and you're cool paying getting $500, which you're not going to get because they take an 8% cut on StockX.
8%?
Yeah.
It's like more.
Well, I sold a lot of shit on StockX, so basically the more
so
you
it's
sell...
Like, it's like 8%, but then they also charge you like a processing fee?
Well, yeah, it's kind of. So basically...
When you're the buyer, they charge you processing fee.
So basically, it would be like 9% if you're the seller. So if it was a sneaker selling for $500 and you're willing to sell it for $500, you'd end up getting like $450, I think, back or something like that. Mm-hmm. So you would sell the sneaker, send it to them. They're basically a middleman. Send it to them, and they'll authenticate it and then send it to the person. But it could be immediate. The only problem is that I always had was it takes a week for the money to get deposited in your account. But my whole thing was if it was a easier or quicker way to do it, it would kill out a lot more.
They'd have to do it right. It has to look like an ancient Egyptian bazaar. And that's the only way I'd be interested.
But the only thing is with that is because a lot of people have been saying that is killing the market. And I think if they actually do open up physical stores and were willing to pay people out that same day, then yeah, that would kill the market.
Resale market shouldn't exist. Period. Ooh, it shouldn't exist.
The thing is with me is like, you take out that resale market, there's a lot of other people who don't have money to do anything. Right, so when niggas go to rob you, then what?
That's a big leap.
Exactly. No, that's not a big leap. Because think about how much people resell. Think how much people resell now. Just like normal people who go into Adidas and shit and be like, yo, like, you see people who bring back Yeezys or whatever.
All the time.
Exactly. So think about it if, like, there wasn't a medium for you to get money at all. That cuts a lot of those kids who resell and shit, just who are trying to make $100.
All right, put $1 in the church basket. Keep it pushing.
Yeah, but a lot of niggas don't got ways to make money. That's the only reason thing with me is, like, yeah, I don't want to pay $1,000 for a sneaker that I actually wanted. But if a little nigga's making $1,000 off of a sneaker, then that's cool. Like, whatever. That's cool with me. Alright, but the thing is, I know how them niggas think. So when a little nigga rob you, then what?
I got robbed.
Exactly. But then that's a lot of more crime being out there than that. Because niggas ain't trying to work at McDonald's.
Let them work at McDonald's.
Nah, I'm telling you, niggas are not working at McDonald's.
I'm saying let them.
They're not going to. That's what I'm saying.
Let them become GM.
Because if they give you the thing is basically like it's quick bread. Like niggas like quick money, so the niggas is gonna make a quick buck.
I would rather get robbed than promote a lot of this.
Look,
super consumer.
Nigga, I know when I was young, I was reselling sneakers, so I know I was making bread. Doing that shit. So if anybody out there making money, I'm not gonna be a hating ass nigga and be like, yo, I would rather pay retail for that sneaker. Like a lot of conversations that we've had on here, a lot of things wouldn't be as popular without it.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is,
and that would kill a lot of
I'll
brands.
never do it. I'll never do it.
Nigga, you've done it.
It's 2019.
Exactly.
Baby.
This nigga be chatting. This nigga just wants everybody to stop reselling so he can be the king reseller.
So
you figured me out.
I think
you caught me red-handed.
This is one of those things again where people are just blowing it out of proportion. This thing's gonna kill this thing.
No, the thing is, it does kill out a lot of people, but it's because a lot of people don't matter anyways.
Well, the reason I asked if they're gonna be selling in the store as well, right? Like you can walk in, you can sell your shoes to them, they'll buy them, and then they'll sell them to whoever.
Well, it's basically like
they sell them for you.
It's basically like you doing it on the app, and then you just take the sneakers and then just ship it out from there to the person who bought it.
The thing is, it still requires people to buy it and bring it to the place, anyways.
But the thing is, it did cut out a big chunk of shit. Like,
what does it cut out?
No, I'm saying it cuts out a big chunk of profit. Is what I'm saying.
From whose end?
From the resellers' end.
Yeah.
Because you're taking that. First of all, it's cutting out the profit because it's like people who don't know how to resell will just sell it for whatever buck. Like if the shit's $500 there, like a little kid who just took their mom's card and took that shit and the retail's $160, they'll take that for a quick and just be like whatever.
I mean, I feel like that'll happen more in the market that's happening right now, as opposed to having to go to a physical store and having to sell shit to them.
No, but if you took StockX away before, just put it like this: when Yeezys was coming out and it was like around the crazy, they were going for like a rat.
Yeah.
And then StockX, niggas started selling a lot on StockX, and now Yeezys going for like $400.
I mean, the original Yeezys are still going for that much, though.
Yeah. They still go for a lot of bread, but that's things that like you would have to hold on to.
Right.
A lot of people don't know how to resell like shit. That's a lot of problems. A lot of niggas complain that they don't know how to do before they complain.
People sell too fast.
Yeah, people sell way too fast. But sometimes you gotta know when to sell fast too, because that product's not gonna hold enough value.
Some shit breaks. For
exactly.
Sure.
You have to know. That's the thing. But that's just a conversation. StockX is just becoming like the eBay when eBay first came out. Like niggas is like, yo, this ruining.
I'm not gonna hold you. StockX is cool. I'm watching this. This shit drop in price. I'm waiting it to hit a certain price.
I mean, it is way better for the buyer than the reseller.
It's fully way better.
It's way better for the buyer. If you're buying, it's way better.
It's a buyer's market.
I think this is, what do they call it? Not a bait and switch per se, but right now StockX is just gathering up as much market share as they can.
The conversation that I really wanted to have behind that was who's behind StockX. Like, yeah, we know who owns it and stuff like that, but I would like to think that a lot of these shoe companies have a lot of money behind that, because then they can drive the market of what they want to sell.
Yeah,
it'd be a lot easier to manipulate the market if they had control of the aftermarket as well.
Yep,
that's how shit goes.
Shout out
This
to Nike.
motherfucker on his phone looking at porn and shit while we talking. He's like,
Oh,
yo,
no.
I ain't here with y'all.
The
More
price of
hentai
what I
again.
wanted went up by $4. I'm tight.
No, but that's how shit goes with everything. You just manipulate the back ends of it.
I was gonna say that too. That who ends up winning out of this is the big companies.
Oh, 1,000%.
Their shit's still getting bought. They
No,
cool.
no. But I'm saying because like I was just saying who like is backing StockX. I'm pretty
Dude.
sure a lot of these big companies will
Stocks-
benefit from. I'm pretty sure a lot of these companies will benefit from backing StockX if they can manipulate the before and after.
For sure,
market.
stock.
That's
didn't get bought
ingenious.
soon.
That's ingenious. You get paid twice for your shoes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That would be the fucking ill. Like niggas think, yeah, I'm making money off of this shit, but I'm making money off of every transaction y'all making off of shit y'all already bought from me.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, here's this shoe for $250. Oh, you're gonna resell it? All right. I want that 8% from that $400.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think a lot of people sit back and think like, yo, like, I want to know who owns StockX.
I was
Yo,
going
I'm
to be
pissed
the
now.
first scumbag shoe seller to put out a shoe, right? Where half of it is, put out to all the stores, but the other half is just sold on StockX, disguised under the veil that it was sold in the store.
A lot of people already do that.
That'd be insane.
A lot of people already do that. People used to do that with stores as well. Like people who used to have stores, they would buy a whole bunch of the shit, hold on to half of the products, wait for that to blow up, and then just sell it in their store. That's what a lot of people claim Sean Witherspoon to do.
With
Was
his
that-
shit?
Yeah, it was that they sold a lot of shit, but he kept a lot of it and then was just selling it for when the market went up. He just started selling it.
That's the
'cause
way to
he
do
owned
it.
the store. I mean, if you're trying to make a buck, yeah, for sure. But like you know how that shit is.
Sean
It's just like,
Witherspoon, I don't know if he.
I
did
fuck
though.
with that nigga. Though.
I don't
think
That's
a
a
lot,
pretty scummy ass shit to do.
a lot of people like to think that a lot of things that are being done aren't scummy, but they always attack one person for doing it.
Listen, bro.
Yeah.
But
Everything
niggas is out here doing way worse than what he's doing, my nigga. Like niggas be like we talk about all the time. Niggas be hating on Ronnie for what, nigga? Because he's out here putting out collections every week of like shit that if anybody else did, niggas will go crazy for.
They
But
will
since
go
he's just
crazy.
doing it like on
it's
a
nothing.
consistent basis, niggas is hating on him.
It's like nobody cares about Russell Westbrook averaging a triple double
Exactly.
for almost 3 years now.
That is a good point. For once, this nigga made a good reference on sports.
Wow.
That is a really good point.
Thanks.
Because a lot of things what Ronnie did for the fucking culture of like sneakers, like sneaker boutiques and shit like that, he elevated that to a whole nother level rather than
And he's
what
kept it
was.
consistent.
Exactly. This nigga literally is making money from niggas buying the bowl, the cereal. Remember the shit I used to buy, the cereal box bullshit? Like niggas used to be on that shit heavy. It's just a new ideas. I like new ideas. I fuck with him for that. We have anything else we want to talk about?
I want to touch on something really quick. We got a lot of time left. Stevenson, you interested in this?
No more.
About like bootlegging culture.
What do you mean bootleg? Oh,
Like
you
I
gotta
feel-
explain to him what bootlegging culture is, though.
Well, for the context right now is that a lot of like these higher fashion brands like Gucci and all that stuff, they're copying and like blatantly copying a lot of like the streetwear type of stuff, right? Because it's what's fashionable, it's what's modern in right now.
Yeah.
Right.
So in bootlegging culture, they're basically like starter brands or like even people at home like me and you, like to counter that, we'll take like our classic like Nike Air Monarch that we got for $30 and write Gucci on it.
Yeah.
As sort of like,
Kind of like mocking it.
kind of like mocking, like a counterculture type deal.
Yeah.
But it's gotten to the point where there's like newer brands solely based off of bootlegging and based off
Yeah,
of making-
specifically there was this woman at one point, I think it was like early, where she would buy like a $40 brand and I think she would spray paint fake Gucci on it, right? And then it got to a point where people were buying that purse for like $400 or $500.
I like it as a statement,
Yeah.
but I don't like it
Yeah.
as
I
like,
think
as a-
originally it
as a-
started off as a statement, but now
For
what
sure.
he's saying that is
It's a
people are
yeah, that's the
making
thing is that it's become almost like a commercial.
yeah, like people are
aspect
actually
of
like looking for bootleg fucking versions of things.
Oh, bootleg Chanel goes for a lot.
But yeah, bootleg shit from back then
From
goes
back
for a
then
lot.
goes
Yeah.
for a lot.
Like basically a fake shirt, a fake Nike shirt that you could have bought back then, if it's the right logo,
It goes for a lot now.
it would go for like $100 now. Or like a fake Gucci, because it wasn't made from the manufacturer, will go for a lot of money now rather than then. I don't really get the idea about
Because-
that because you wouldn't buy fake shit now. So why would you
Well,
buy?
people
just,
do
'cause
buy
it's
fake
vintage
shit now.
fake shit.
People do buy fake shit.
Oh, a lot of people buy fake
And they'll
shit.
disguise it under the word custom.
Oh, 1000%.
They'd rather buy a custom by some artist, quote unquote, or by some other person rather than, get the real shit.
Yeah, for sure.
which is I think it's really interesting to see that come full circle.
I don't think it ever left though. It just got back popular, like super popular.
I don't know. I'm trying to make some fake shit right now. I sent you that picture of the Lacoste, right?
Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that logo. That logo's disgusting.
It's clean.
Dude.
It's
no,
clean.
it's not. Dude, that alligator. You know Lacoste alligator, right? That alligator looking like Joey Diaz.
I drew one and I colored it. I'll show you right now. We could probably make it the picture cover for the pod. No? Yes?
Oh no, because I think they would say that that's like.
Look, if anyone wants to see it, I'll probably post it
infringement.
soon. It's pretty fire. It's pretty fucking good.
you can check on AB2 underscore dash on Instagram. He'll post it whenever.
You already know. I'll probably put it in my highlights. You already know. Don't steal the design. I worked pretty hard on it.
They're definitely gonna steal the design. That's the last thing you had.
Yeah, that's all I had.
I guess the last thing I'll talk about is the Dream Tape. The Dream Tape came out like 2 weeks ago, I think. It came out on Christmas, so maybe like a week ago. Yeah. The new tape, the volume 1, volume 2, volume 3.
Oh, like the Dream.
Yeah, the Dream, the actual R&B singer.
Yeah, the Dream.
The only thing I'm gonna say with this is it's 48 records on there.
Oof.
I would say majority of that shit is really good. If you like R&B, listen to that Dream Tape. The Dream probably rises y'all favorites anyways.
But when Chris Brown dropped 50 tracks, nobody was hearing it.
I listen to the Chris Brown 50 tracks though.
Dead ass?
Nigga, I like R&B music. That's the thing. It's a different level of
Chris
me
Brown.
liking R&B
You listen
music.
to Chris Brown?
Chris Brown makes good R&B music.
All right, bro.
That's the thing.
right.
That's the thing. That's the problem right there. You have niggas like him that would just say some shit like that and try to be like diminish that nigga.
What did I say?
You-
I asked you a question.
No,
I said
it's the tone that you said it in.
Look.
You choose to interpret it.
No.
There was a definite tone there.
Yeah, that was definitely a tone.
All I'm gonna say
You don't read or write.
is that I'm not an R&B fan.
Yeah.
But Chris Brown is talented, and I understand why people like him.
No, this is solely only on a talent based thing.
That's what I was
know
gonna
you're
say.
get
But he has a
this
checkered past,
yeah.
and I won't.
This is solely
support
on
it.
a.
Wow. I don't agree with all that stuff.
He was.
I don't care.
He was just.
It's fine.
Well, that's the conversation.
That's like saying, yo, I'm not going to go to France because Napoleon killed people. Yeah, fuck out of here.
That's not the same
No,
thing
it's
at
not.
all. Because Napoleon's not alive or runs France, bro. All right.
That's more like saying, "Hey, man, I'm not gonna join
That's the same
Napoleon's
thing. It's the same conversation
army
to be had
because
about how
he killed a lot of
Kanye,
people."
how people say that you should take what Kanye is saying away from his artistry, but that's a part of him, and his artistry is a part of him. So
No,
you just take it
that's-
all in one.
That's why I said everything that I said before.
What?
That he's.
Yeah, he's talented.
I don't like
so-
R&B.
But no,
R&B
it's a
fans
difference
and
now that a lot of people are saying like, yo, I'm not paying for anything that Kanye's doing, but that's a choice they get to have for the shit that you say.
Yeah.
And plus, a lot of the shit he been putting out is a lot of bullshit.
Chris Brown or Kanye?
Kanye.
You haven't heard Kid See Ghost, I understand.
You didn't even put that in your top 10.
And?
Exactly.
Top 10 to be good?
Top 10 of the year. This nigga was dick riding the fuck out of that album and didn't even put in his top 10 albums of the year.
It was number 11.
It
It was not. He didn't even mention that as an honorable mention, dude.
Let's open up the drive.
That's true.
I didn't.
Exactly. I know you didn't. He didn't even mention an honorable mention, but the album was so good. The thing is, that people like to do now is that it has 2 good records on the album, and there are 2 really good records. Niggas be like, that album was a really good album.
2 out of 7 ain't bad.
No, it's not. That's horrible.
Listen,
That's the thing.
That's a
Music
bad
is
boy.
30% good, 70% bad. That fits the ratio.
A lot of people would say now, like there's a lot of Kanye fans right now that'll tell you that his work hasn't diminished from back then to now. Niggas just back is just different.
Oh, it's just different.
Yeah,
I
niggas
don't
back
like
is just
that.
different.
Is it not different?
The quality's a lot worse than that.
Define quality.
Nigga, Dark Twisted Fantasy is the key, right?
And it's mixed horror.
And then you have Yeezus. Then you have the rest of this bullshit just keeps going on the downward.
Okay, so your first mistake was putting Dark Fantasy.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's
And
what a lot of
Yeezus
people
here.
say.
Yeezus is here.
No.
compared
Yeezus
to
is
Dark
not
Fantasy.
this.
Okay,
No, it's
we
not.
go.
No, it's not. 1000%.
You've never heard Hold My Liquor.
That's the thing. He likes 3 songs on that album.
No, I just like Daft Punk.
Look,
That makes no sense. What are you even talking about?
All right.
That Punk did like 2 records on there.
4.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. See, that's the conversation niggas don't like to have. That album has 3-4 good records. Yeah, they're good records, but it's not compared to Dark Twisted
There's only
Fantasy.
one bad song on Yeezus.
Oh come on, nigga. There's
Which
way
one?
more worse songs on that album.
And
than
it's
that.
Send It Up.
And then you have the Ye album that niggas like to talk about, and that Kid See Ghost album was bad.
Nah.
Yes, it was. How much songs do you like on Kid See Ghost? You just said 2 out of 7 isn't good, and 2 out of 7 isn't bad.
2 out of 7 isn't bad.
Okay.
But I like
what fucking percentages are you working in?
The only song I don't like on there is Cuddy Montage.
Yeah, but you can pretty much say that he's been on a downward spiral.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying.
It didn't. The downward spiral didn't begin with after My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
What's after Dark Twisted Fantasy?
Yeezus.
Yeah, it went down after that. 1,000%.
No.
So you think Yeezus is better than Dark Twisted Fantasy?
No.
All right, so it went down.
Spiral.
It went down. It started to go down from there.
Nah.
What are you talking about?
Yeezus is better than Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
You just said it wasn't.
It is though.
No, alright. This nigga just saying shit to say shit now at this point. Cause that no, but he really be believing shit. Like he will switch his mind and be really.
No, I really do think that Yeezus is better though.
No, it's not even close. Not even close.
Well, I'll say I've enjoyed it more.
That I can't dispute.
All right.
But I know you know that album is better than that album.
All I know is that I would rather listen to Yeezus 10 times in a row than listen to Power.
I think Power is probably better than almost any song on Yeezus.
I think Power is one of my least favorite Kanye songs.
Well, that's because it's been super played in a lot of things, but that beat is super hard on the album. Oof. That's the thing. And plus, I don't really like when Kanye just starts rapping about a whole bunch of stupid shit, which is basically the whole Yeezus.
I don't like this. I think Kanye's just better off not being on the mic. Period.
Well, you said that for a while.
Yeah.
Me, I'm on the same page as you. Depending on who's writing, I don't want him to be on the mic. And that's been for the last 4 albums.
He's a musical genius, man. I'll say that. Like his beats,
he's a musical producer for sure.
He affected hip hop straight up.
Well, yeah, 1,000%.
But I don't think it was with his voice.
1,000%. But a lot of niggas do like a lot of random bullshit that he says just because it's random. That's the thing. That's because it's super random what he says. And this nigga's smirking because he's one of them. 1,000%.
Huh?
Exactly.
He says a lot of crazy stuff, man.
1,000%. But yeah, that you can just go back on those last 4 albums.
Why don't they like me?
That's very clear why niggas don't like you. We just went on it for a minute. But that's the thing, was just like, Kanye's never been a great rapper to me, so that's... Yeah. So as soon as you stop producing how you normally produce, that's just going to make your music be worse.
You like Consequence?
Consequence is pretty good.
You like Kanye?
No, because Consequence only did early Kanye shit, and I just told you it depends on who's writing.
Who's written most of his most recent shit?
I honestly don't know who's writing his shit now, but
his Consequence has writing credits on Violent Crimes.
The thing is, having writing credits is based like you don't know how much they wrote. It could have just been a line because he credits everybody.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of people on there. My thing is, like,
but you can hear it when you have. I push mayonnaise colored bins. I push mayonnaise colored bins called a Miracle Whip on like the early albums, and now if I had to go, well, what's the bleach asshole line?
That line is clean.
That line is horrible.
What's the line? Man?
The line is
if I fuck this model and she just bleached her asshole and I get bleach on my t-shirt, I'm gonna feel like an asshole. That is the and niggas like it because it's just like it's a fucking weird bar.
If I didn't know that song already and you told me that lyric and you said which rapper said this, I'd guess Lil B.
Exactly. That's my point. That's my point. You take out if you take out Kanye's name from Kid See Ghost and give it to this nigga and he can't take what the voices of it, he'll be like, this album's trash.
Yeah. No, would it?
Yeah, you 1,000% would say that. 1,000% you would say that.
There's 2 things wrong with that. Because one, I would, and 2, it's even if it wasn't Kanye, I would, and if it was the same thing. Of course, I'm gonna feel differently.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That name is the thing that's attached.
I'm not even talking about
It's basically what niggas do.
It's about the artist.
No, it's basically the name of it because it's the nigga who. It's like saying like I get a black tee from Balenciaga and I get a black tee from there. If you tell me it's from Balenciaga, it's the same price as this black tee and it's the same quality. Niggas is gonna go for that Balenciaga one more than anyone.
That's true, but
exactly that's what I'm saying. It's the same shit. It's the same shit with artists. You just are familiar with the name, so you're always gonna listen to their thing.
For your argument, so what would happen?
You could have put Currency on there,
and
I would have felt the same way about that album.
If Currency said
the same. No, I would feel totally different.
Okay.
There we go. I'd feel totally different.
No, but I'm saying if it was Kanye and you had no clue who Kanye was. And you didn't know the Kanye name, and I gave you that album, you'd be like, this shit is trash.
Of course, I would feel differently about it.
Exactly, that's all I'm saying.
I don't know the music.
No, but I'm saying if you're familiar with hip hop music, and I give you that fucking Kid album, you're gonna be this shit's trash.
It's impossible to say. It's impossible.
It is impossible to say, but according to your other likes of music, if I give you an Earl album and then I give you that album and say Earl made this album, the Kid album, you be like, get the fuck, that shit is garbage, nigga.
Do you think?
You're starting to argue the point that like people can't make bad music then?
What do you mean?
Because there's Earl songs I don't like.
But you're telling me that that's bad music right now. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is it's bad music.
I don't think it's bad
because
music.
you just said
all I'm saying is that the artist matters because then you understand intent, delivery.
Yeah, but my whole point is that people are saying that that's not bad music, and you know it's bad music compared to that artist. You know it's bad music.
It's like you're giving him a pass because he's Kanye.
Yeah, that's the thing, and niggas giving him a pass because it's Kanye.
Is it more of a pass, or is it more like of an understanding of like where his artistry has come from? He's already giving me this.
That's the thing. No. That's the thing. That's where a lot of people hide is the artistry thing with Kanye. Kanye's treating young niggas bullshit. Niggas is like, oh, it's Kanye because it's art.
This is complicated. That's complicated because the guise of artistry can be used correctly, where there's an artist doing something artistic. Yeah. And then there could be somebody who's just doing something that's trash and saying this is art.
1,000%. Like this nigga.
I think Power is horrible.
That nigga was just trying to make. That nigga was just trying to make money out of that rollout. Out of that 7 album rollout that he did with the 7 songs, there was 2 good albums out of that.
I feel like I've already stated there's some things I hate from Kanye. Right. Yeah. I said I didn't like Power. I can name a number of songs.
Yeah.
Even if what he's making is bullshit, can I still fucking enjoy the bullshit?
Of course, you can enjoy anything.
As long as you say it's bullshit. You weren't saying it was bullshit.
Because I don't think it's bullshit to me.
You just said it's bullshit.
To other people, right? If other people think it's bullshit, doesn't mean I can't enjoy it.
The whole thing to me is like...
I think Graduation is really bad.
The whole thing to me is...
Except for Drunken Hot Girls.
The whole thing to me is... The niggas don't hold niggas accountable how they should be held accountable.
We're just holding different things accountable.
No, because if I tell you that Reasonable Doubt is just as good as the album as Magna Carta Holy Grail, you're going to tell me that, nigga, that's bullshit. That album is way better than this album.
Magna Carta Holy Grail.
Exactly. All right. Now you're just talking bullshit.
That one is a troll.
I know 1,000%. But niggas is not holding niggas accountable. That's like niggas like saying, like me saying that LeBron is, like, if LeBron can get injured right now and come back and he doesn't play good at all. And I'm like, he's playing the same. He's playing the same amount. Like he's playing the same at the same speed. He's obviously not.
Yeah.
But the only thing with music is that niggas like to hide behind that. He's just trying new artistry things. You can try new artistry things and be fucking horrible still.
Who are you holding accountable? The artists or the fans?
Both.
You can't hold the fans accountable for anything. They don't give a fuck.
No, but that's the problem. Niggas don't hold the fans accountable for anything. They should be held accountable for you liking this bullshit.
Because
it's like all consumer based, nigga. It's just like you saying the nigga should not buy Gucci because Gucci's just stealing shit and making random bullshit. If niggas is buying it, Gucci gonna keep making it. If niggas is buying this Kanye's bullshit, they gonna still keep making it.
There's always people who think that's bullshit. There's always gonna be people who enjoy it.
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna tell people to enjoy it. Of course, I'm gonna tell them that I think it's bullshit.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
So here's the question.
It's another thing where I fucking agree with you. We just think different things is bullshit.
No. Here's. I guess I don't agree, but here's my question then. If you can't hold the fans accountable, right? Then who holds the artist accountable?
That's my point. That's my whole point.
I don't think it has to be.
If the fans will always buy anything he creates,
make bullshit and sell it to you like the last 2 albums.
Now that's a double-edged sword. For pure artistry, for him to be able to do anything he wants is great. But if he's just trying to cash in, then now you're just getting trash.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying whether or not it is or isn't trash. I'm just saying from the sake of the argument, who holds the artist accountable? It's the fans. It's his fan base, the people who are going to give him money, right?
Okay, yes.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
So if the fans holding the artist accountable doesn't mean that the fans who's holding the fans accountable?
That's the thing. You can think of it as like a judgment, right? You have to hold everyone accountable that has anything to do with it.
Exactly. Any parties involved but have to be held accountable.
But then you're a part of the fan base holding other fans accountable, and that's great. That's awesome. But not every fan is the same.
Of course not.
Yeah, no, not every fan is the same. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying If majority of the shit he's putting out is bullshit, just like we said, like Gucci's putting out a lot of bullshit, and niggas buy it.
Majority bullshit though.
It is bullshit. A majority of the fans telling you that these last 2 albums have been bullshit. So the majority is the popularity.
Is that correct though?
It's not correct, but if we're telling you it's bullshit, not what we want, then what should an artist do?
Then stop listening to him.
Exactly. So that's my point. If niggas stop listening to him, then he won't make that bullshit music. He'll go back to making the real music. That's the point. Because Kanye is definitely just showing you niggas like, yo, you niggas will buy anything I put out.
I think
anything I put out.
That
niggas is letting his nuts hang right now, telling you that, yo, if y'all like that bullshit, I can create that bullshit at any fucking time. We talked about those 7 albums, and we said that all those albums sounded rushed, and niggas is just gonna gobble that shit up. Yeah. If you allowed to eat garbage, you're gonna let niggas feed you garbage.
And I say let him feed people garbage.
That's my point. If you let him, if everybody was like you and just let people feed garbage, then we'll just get garbage from everyone. Because everybody would just feed you bullshit rather than actually having time to fucking put their work into their creativity.
As an artist, it's 100% within his right to create something even he thinks is garbage.
Yeah.
Right? He can fucking record himself shitting and put it out.
Yeah.
Right? He's allowed to do that.
Yeah, he's allowed to do that. But my problem is with y'all niggas would be like, yo, that shit's hot. Like, nigga,
why is that a problem to you?
That shit's not
just say it's not for you. Or
no, that's not for you bullshit. It's just bullshit. I'm gonna give my opinion and tell you that's bullshit compared to your other shit. That's bullshit.
All right, then say it and keep it
moving. But my problem is niggas will be like,
you get a post up and all the niggas be like, you really listening to that shit?
No, but y'all niggas
You're fucking stupid.
Y'all niggas are hiding behind
late registration.
But what's the conversation we just had? Y'all niggas are hide behind that and be like, yo, that's real fucking art. That's artistry. We gotta let him try new shit. But he just feeding y'all niggas shit. So y'all niggas just down to eat whatever.
I think this is just boiling down to an argument that's been had like in a lot of places and mediums where it's like who holds X accountable, and then there's always
that's my point. Sides. Nobody's holding this nigga accountable.
There's always 2 sides. For pure artistry, you can't control him. You have to let him do what he wants to do.
That's what I'd say.
Right? And then on the other side, you're like, well, fuck that, because I'm paying or I'm doing something.
Exactly, yeah.
He has to give me the best work that he can because he has to entertain me.
And my point is, I'm not entitled to that. If I want to hear his best shit, I'll just put on fucking College Dropout.
But that's not the point.
Would you say that's fair?
Exactly. Would you not want to get new good shit?
Hold on. Would you say that's fair?
It's beyond fair already that I already have music from that I enjoy.
Okay.
That to me, that's just you giving the leeway to the artist.
I like this because we're getting somewhere. So he gives you one song that's good, right? Hands down, everybody thinks it's good. And then from then on, it's just, let's say mediocre. I won't even say trash. Right?
Yeah,
okay.
It's just super mediocre. You continue to pay him $10 per album, right? For 20 years. It's still worth it to you to buy that album on the 21st year after 19 years of mediocre work in the hopes that he can maybe make one good song.
Exactly.
Again.
Are you asking me if I would do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Me personally, I wouldn't pay.
Okay.
But I would still be aware and keep an eye out. Maybe it's something I would be interested in.
So that's fine, right? That's up to you.
Yeah,
that's your taste.
But that just goes back to my whole thing. The nigga just do some shit for
because
the brand.
It's saying this. It's almost been turned as like that. I've never given up on an artist or stopped listening to an artist. I have.
Right.
Because there's just been a point where like I don't feel like the direction you're going is going to be something I enjoy. I'm gonna leave it over there. I'm gonna keep it in the hotel room.
But here's exactly what I'm trying to get at, right? For the sake of the argument. On the other side of that argument, right? East side of that argument. One good song. Oh, this guy has talent. All right. Second album drops. Like, this is mediocre, but all right. Let's see the third album. 3 through 20. Mediocre. Within that time, there should be a point where people say, all right, look, we've given you 12 albums, and they're mediocre. Like, you either come back with what you came with initially, or you're obsolete.
That's my point.
Because then, in the end, the same way you feel like, oh, I'm blessed because you gave me this fantastic music 12 years ago.
Exactly. That's how niggas feel like this nigga's Jesus or some shit because he dropped 3 good albums.
He should also reciprocate that and say, yes, I love my fans too. I want to give you the best work that I can. I don't know anything about it, right? But not saying that it's bad or good. But let's say he's up there and he's like, whatever, man, I'm just going to play a C major scale on this album, and that's gonna be your album.
Well,
that's
like this nigga's like, yeah, I'm gonna slap my dick on the mic, and niggas gonna think this shit. That's what you
deserve.
Hard.
That's what you deserve. Give me my money. No, it should be a mutual respect, right, between artist and fan.
Because it's a 50-50.
I disagree.
You disagree. So the artist is a god.
No,
that's basically what you're saying.
I feel like the artist has the right to create whatever they want, and I have the right to consume whatever I want. I could have stopped at any point. He could have created anything he wanted at any point. It's not.
But that wasn't my point to begin with.
1 and 2.
That wasn't my point to begin with. My point was that his brand is what is allowing niggas to be like, all right, because it was Kanye's high.
My whole point.
That's all it is. Because it was Kanye's high.
My whole point is this: if you hold the artist in a regard that is higher than the artist holds the fan base, what you're gonna have is a bad relationship between the two. Now, you saying he should be able to do whatever he wants. I agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. Artists should always be able to do what they want.
But at the same time, whatever he wants to do, he should be doing the best of that.
Exactly. It's more of him like being very.
What's the best?
It's more of him mocking niggas like, yeah, I know y'all niggas will buy whatever I put out. That's all it is. He's giving niggas a lot of B-side shit. That's all it is.
Now, this is all theoretical at this point, right?
Because for sure, because everything is subjective, but I know a lot of niggas are hiding behind that brand of artistry.
Well, like he said, like, what's the best for whatever he's trying to do, right? Maybe he is trying his best, maybe he's not. But, and I hold this as like a truth, right? The truth is self-evident. You can tell when somebody's trying and when somebody's not. The same way you can tell, somehow the human brain can tell. You tell a joke and somebody fake laughs, you're just like, I don't appreciate that.
That's my whole thing with niggas.
Like, you can tell.
Niggas just so clamored to get a good album from this nigga that niggas will hear 2 songs and say that the album is good. You know he didn't work on anything else but them 7 records. He worked on 2 records like he really would work on a record, and niggas is just like, alright, that was amazing.
There's a sad alternate to all of this. That he is trying really hard and he's lost it.
He's not though.
No, but I'm saying like that's a sad alternate.
That is a sad alternate.
That is a sad alternate. But you can tell this nigga just like niggas buying whatever the fuck I'm gonna put out. So niggas gonna put it. He's gonna put it out. And if he doesn't care and nobody doesn't do anything, then he'll make a good album.
Moral of the story is torrent first.
Well, 1,000%. You know. Or just I don't download it
because if I was following,
and this is less to be about Kanye than less to be about like we were talking about consumerism. You know, you have to know your power of what you hold in the market. That's the problem with a lot of nigga shit.
Right. Because if we're following that same model of like I consume after the album put out, I would have stopped listening after graduation. I never would have fell in love with 808s.
Yeah, but
I would have been like, "Yo, this is bullshit." Fuck
yeah, but the thing is the consistency. The more people liked it, they hated the album. Like a lot of people really like the Graduation. I think Graduation one is his best album. A lot of people like that album rather than a lot of people didn't like that album.
And a lot of people,
dislike. And then other people really, really dislike Yeezus. Which I don't think the album is that bad of an album. I just don't think the album is that great of an album either, as far as quality of work.
Right.
But the thing is, niggas said that they didn't like that, and then the next album niggas didn't like, and then the last 2 albums niggas didn't like. So it's like if you just not liking on any of these albums, then what's going on here? Like we know you just bullshit.
I gotta throw in my nerdism here, but this sounds like the argument people are having between Fallout 76.
But no, it's the same shit. Like a lot of people will say, like Andrew Points was like, all right, so if you don't want to do it, then don't listen to it. It's just like Hope said, like, yo, if you want my old shit, buy my old albums. But the thing is, Hope has progressively made better albums.
Right.
I did listen to that too.
But this is what I'm saying.
But that point doesn't hold any merit because it's like if I want to listen to Kanye, I want to listen to Kanye, but I would want to get him at his peak form.
Well, let me
rather than him just trolling y'all niggas and y'all niggas is just like, oh, it's cool with it. Let's let him rock.
Let me give you a breakdown of this Fallout 76. Right, it's a new video game, right? Fallout series. Bethesda took over the series, whatever. Right, it's an online, basically an MMO. They released the game. Lots of things are broken. Some of the items that they said you're going to get for pre-ordering, like a special collector's edition, came with like, it was not what they said it was going to be. Company doesn't care. They're like, yeah, we're not going to do anything about it.
It's the same shit as company.
We'll fix the stuff that's broken when we get the chance to fix the stuff that's broken. Would you say that the gamers that bought this game are entitled to the company giving them a finished, polished product? Or would you say that they should be happy that the previous games were good?
That's a good fucking point.
That's the whole point. It's like that's my whole point. The niggas is dying off of this brand. So you bought it because you knew what the brand originally holds. And then that's like me buying some Nikes right now, and then the soul comes off that bitch, and I'm just like, Andrew's like, you should have bought it in the first place, nigga. You out of luck, nigga. That's the whole point. You out of luck, nigga. You shouldn't have bought the Nikes in the first place.
I mean, these are very complicated arguments because, like, in the sense of like Fallout and Kanye, they could have tried their hardest and it just came out to be not good.
But you, like you said, you know when somebody's trying. When somebody's
I'm gonna tell you right now, my opinion that Fallout 76, they knew it was gonna sell. They released it with bugs. They'll fix it later. That's what their idea.
But
is.
I feel like
that's like us coming to the podcast and I'm just like, yo, and I ask a question and niggas just like, alright, it's cool. And then this nigga's being like, yo, we put out the best shit in the world. Like, nigga, obviously we did not.
The whole thing, when I say the Fallout 76 is that a bug, a glitch, and all that stuff, and when you're talking about, and we're going to compare it to the music side of the argument we just had, you can compare it to something like mixing, volume, stuff like that. And a most recent example, on Travis Scott's album, one of the verses was way too low, and they fixed it. But that's totally different from having just a song be bad. The gameplay, it could be glitchy, it could be whatever. The story could be whatever. He said it's an MMO type deal. It could still be good, but just have a lot of in-game problems.
All right, so think about it like this. Think about it like if everybody said that game was good, the problem would never get fixed.
Correct.
That's the problem. Exactly. That's the problem.
If nobody complained about the verse,
that's the power that you hold in consumerism. If everybody's saying that what Kanye's putting out is super fire, he gonna keep putting it out.
So back to the original point that when I jumped in, you said you can't hold the fans accountable for like what Kanye did on his album, but he was saying that he holds them both accountable because what he wants to see is a polished Fallout 76.
Yeah.
He doesn't want this glitchy ass, like, half-assed Fallout 76 or Kanye album. He wants all the nerds to say, look, this game's not okay, and we're not going to buy any more of your stuff until you get on your game. Because like you said, sure, glitches and things like that are like post-production, like, hey, this is too low, like, this is too loud, et cetera, et cetera. But like a bad song, for example, that is tantamount to me to the whole experience or the experience breaking 5 glitches in the first 5 minutes of the game. Right? That's the bad song in the album known as Fallout 76.
Not even that, because I forgot the Life of Pablo came out in the recent album. That is a way more polished version of everything he's trying to do now.
Yeah.
Now he just went on a little. Basically, it's like he took songs from that album and just started sprinkling it out now, like songs that were on the back burner.
The thing with Life of Pablo is that was a quote unquote living album. He went back, he fixed tracks.
No, but I'm saying in general, in the beginning of the album, before he started doing any of that, the songs were good and the way it was structured was good. Now it's just like, I'm gonna put this record out and I'm not even gonna mix, I'm not gonna do nothing. But when niggas tell me that, yo, it don't sound right, it sounds kind of off, you gonna say, yo, that's my artistry, let me rock. If niggas gonna hide behind that artistry shit, niggas gonna put out a whole bunch of bullshit. That's the same thing that can be said about like Gucci and shit. Or that same thing could be said about Nike or something like that. Like, yo, I'm just gonna do whatever I wanna do.
Well, then we have to bring up the arguments that you go to these different things for different reasons. Like, you play a game for similarly the same type of reason you would listen to music for enjoyment, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Entertainment. But like the entertainment comes from a different thing as when you're listening to music. Like when you're playing a game, like I'll get a different type of entertainment based on the type of game or whatever. I'll get a different type of entertainment
Yeah, but
based
it's
on
still
the
a
music.
form of entertainment.
It's still a form of
Yeah,
entertainment.
exactly.
Like the thing you said about the Nike shoe and like the sole comes off. If I buy Fallout 76 and the disc is broken in half, I can compare it to that. If I play it and there's a glitch, that's totally different.
But
Not really, because if
it-
I wore the shoe 2-3 times and it didn't work, and it didn't break, but then a lip of it came off, then that's just
Didn't back in the
that's
day
a
the
glitch in system.
old Xbox used to like fuck up and never be able to work again?
It used to scratch discs and stuff.
No, like the red,
Something like the
red
ring
ring?
of death shit that would do. That would be
Are you
from
talking
over,
about
that would be
Xbox
from
360
The
overuse.
360, the
That
red.
would be from overuse.
Red ring.
Yeah, is that from overuse?
Yeah, it's all from
I
That's-
thought
overuse.
it's just something that happened, right?
I
Nah,
can
it
tell
would
you.
be from
I can tell you
overuse.
what that's from, because PlayStation had the yellow light of death. It's a bad chipset that was sent out by Nvidia, I believe, and they would overheat, and then the solder points would get so hot that the chip would raise up off the
just
board.
break, yeah.
Right.
That's why people would say put it in the oven, because it would reflow
Yeah.
the solder,
It
so
would
you
be glue.
fall
That's
back
true.
in.
Yeah, it is.
That's fucking cool.
But it would break again.
But,
soon after.
the whole point of this conversation was to just call out the consumer base of these niggas. Like,
So that's the point,
if
though.
we have a stamp of what we want to hold accountable, or like a peak of something that we want to hold accountable, like everybody does, like hip hop, or like a time where the sneakers or streetwear was the best, and niggas don't hold it accountable to the best, and niggas just let niggas put out whatever they want. Niggas gonna put out bullshit all the time.
So here's another problem, man, with society in general. Now we have it's a lot easier to fall into groupthink now than
For sure.
ever.
That's my point. It's
Yeah.
all group thinking, sheep
So,
thinking, my nigga.
although Andrew could be,
No, I'm not saying that he really doesn't like the album. The thing is that a lot of niggas will like two records and say the album is good.
but what I'm saying is he could be altruistic, right? Saying like he should be able to do whatever he wants. If I don't like it, I'm done with it, and that's it. But most of the people aren't going to be like that.
Exactly.
Most
Niggas
of
are
the
gonna
people-
hide behind that brand. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Niggas
they're
gonna hide
gonna-
behind the brand.
They're like, yo, that new Yeezus album, Kanye, he killed that,
crazy,
and it's like
bro.
literally
It's
one
crazy, bro.
one track of him mowing the lawn.
One
You know
track of
what I
him
mean?
beating his dick against the mic, and niggas like, yo, that's crazy, bro. Like, that's the thing. It's like music is all subjective. Yeah, niggas could really like that record or not, but we know the difference between niggas liking the record and niggas just riding it because it's hot.
All I'll say,
That's it.
in my opinion, just give me the best of what you got, man.
Exactly,
If I don't like
man.
it, I don't like it. I'm in Andrew's camp with that, right?
Yeah,
if I don't like it, I don't
everybody's
like it.
entitled to their opinion to be subjective.
Right, but
That's
don't come at me half-assed, especially
That's
if I'm
my
gonna spend my
point.
money.
That's my only point. Don't come to me half-assed and then try to hide that shit behind artistry. That's my whole
Look,
point.
if you go up to a girl and you're trying to ask her out and you go half-assed, you're probably done.
That's all I'm
If you're
saying.
not giving her, and I'm not talking about being weird and creepy. I'm just saying if you're not giving her the proper attention, let's say, she's not gonna care about you.
And then let's just put it in that conversation. One nigga goes to talk in the group, and then he comes back. She's like, "Yeah, she just didn't get me."
It's just-
Yeah.
What we gonna say to that nigga? Like, nigga, you just don't know how to talk to chick. That's all it is.
I recently
No, she
watched,
got it.
She got it, nigga. And that shit was not good, bro. Simple and plain.
I recently watched a movie called Suspiria, which is a remake of a horror, and there's a ballet scene where the girl, she can't do a jump as high or perform a move as well as another girl, and the director stops her. He's like, "Why are you doing it this way? You're confusing physical inability for artistic direction." So I feel like that wraps what we're talking about. At times, a lot of fans will confuse a person unable to meet their highest level for an artistic choice.
But that's the thing. I'm not saying that he should make another Dark Twisted Fantasy, because I'm just like Hov, where I'm like, yo, if you want my old shit, buy my old album. Simple and plain. The thing is, the new artistry shit that you trying to feed me that is saying that it's better than that, when I know it's not better than that. It's just a manipulation game when niggas is just like, all right, what he's saying is just wild. So like, he's a real artist because real artists are crazy. That's all it is to me. Like, it's just like, yo, this nigga losing his mind and real artists are crazy. So
you do need some help.
Look, I stopped listening to
I don't know,
Kanye
man.
a long time ago.
That's another thing. Like, I don't think like people should really judge people's fucking mental health, because this nigga really could be trolling and just hide behind that whole mental health shit.
Could.
Because it's a ride of it. But you can't, the thing is, you can't say anything about it because if you punch a nigga in the face like, damn, my nigga, I'm depressed right now. you can't gauge if that nigga is really depressed or not, but that nigga could really be fucking with you.
Yeah.
Just so you feel bad. That's the same thing. Like, this nigga could be like, yo, I'm wild depressed, I ain't taking no medicine, he had the crib chilling.
Here's all I'll say.
Shit.
If he's having mental issues, anything like that, or just a tough time in life, take some time off, man. You don't have to make a million albums.
Yeah, but the whole thing with Kanye goes back to me. It's like, all right, so he made all those good albums, and then 808s comes out, and a lot of people didn't like that album, but a lot of people did like that album. And either way, he came back and made Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is known to be his best album by most people. And then, so it shows that you can bounce back from something.
Of course.
If you was going through something. So, like...
He has talent.
Exactly.
Everybody
I'm not
knows
saying he's not talented. I'm saying that the level of talent that he's putting out is not the level of talent he should be.
That's what my whole point is. Like, if there is something going on, take some time off and then come back and do something
I'm telling you, it's just like niggas. It's just like if we were to come in here right now and every question I asked you niggas was like, yeah, that shit was popping, bro.
Shit was cool.
And then
10 out of 10.
And you know how crazy that would drive me if that shit got 1 million fucking streams and then niggas like, yo, that shit was hot, bro. I would go nuts, my nigga, because I know it's not hot.
Yo, quick side question. Do you think, if you personally, like, you can, let's say they have, like, an artist, let's not even name one, but you can have, like, a project from theirs you regard as their best, and a completely different project you admire as your favorite from them? Where your favorite and the best are different?
I think you can differ from that, but usually for me, their best is my favorite. But, like everybody says, the best album from Kanye is Dark Twisted Fantasy. I don't think that's his best album.
Like, that's not your favorite album?
Yeah, that's not my favorite album.
So
but
I think
you would say it's the best.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say it either.
See,
I would say that Graduation is probably the best.
The thing with that question is that you have one of them, in my opinion, should be based on a scale or something,
like
right?
Like a technical skill,
way.
It should
While
be,
the other is personal.
Yeah, it should be held like that. Like we
basically like on a social, like the society agrees this is best.
But it's a lot harder to do that with artist shit. Like for example, our favorite brand is Emilion on Dior right now, but we have different favorite brands.
It's like
brands that we would say are the best. I don't know. It's
because there's sometimes where like, let's just put like Tyler for example, where like to me, Cherry Bomb is my favorite album, but Wolf to me is his best.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Wolf is like, if I were going to show anybody Tyler, I would play Wolf.
Yeah.
I would not play anything from Cherry Bomb to them ever, except
because Cherry Bomb is something that you have to like distinguish. Like, see, that's another good person that we can put in that conversation of being an artist and every album sounding different, but he's putting his full effort to it sounding different. That's the problem that I have. That it's just like for example, like we have now, like everybody thinks they could be a designer, so they just go and get a Gildan and put whatever on it.
Right.
That's the problem. That like any thought that I have, it's good that my artistry is getting put out, and any thought that I have, I can put out. The thing is putting the development and the time into that thought, rather than it just being like, hey, I'm gonna slap my dick on this mic and we gonna see what it sounds like.
I'm gonna scoop the whoop.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm gonna scoop the whoop this shit and see what these niggas is talking about. See, Tyler does it very well to me. Like all his albums sound differently, or they sound like a progression of what he was trying to do on the former album. But you can tell that he's putting his full effort into it rather than other people. Like if Hov right now dropped the album and he's just like bullshit, I would be OD tired if he bullshits on album. Because, like, the thing is, like, we hold the artistry to a high regard. So if you just playing around with this bullshit, then the fuck out of here. And if you're just going to play around with it.
This happened to me, man. Big AZ fan.
Facts.
I bought some album that he put out. I don't even remember the name of the album. And it was like 90% features. I was like,
it's a thing that you can tell what somebody did for money. That's the thing.
It's like
you can tell somebody did for money. That's why I think a lot of the Kanye shit that is getting blowback on is because he's still doing the same thing that he did when all those albums are coming out. But the thing is that the albums were so good that it was overshadowing it now. But the albums have gone down, and now niggas like, oh, this nigga's bugging.
And a lot of people do feel that way.
Exactly.
Right
that's what I feel it is. A lot of people is just like he's always been doing this, But now that his artistry is not good enough, niggas is just like, yo, this nigga.
And I'm just sort of in the place where, like, I'm not gonna lie. I listened to Ye when it came out, and nothing's in there has reached back to me. But I'm not gonna be there like, shit, you're whack, brother.
That's the thing with me though. That's how you know if something is good or not throughout time.
If you go back to it?
If you go back to it, you know if the album is good or not. Every album that we had on the top 10 this year, we went back to multiple times.
It's true.
That's the thing. That would decide for the good and the bad. That's simple with me, especially in music. Would you go back to it? That's it. How often do you go back to music? Because if the album was a 10 out of 10 for you the first time you listen to it, 9 times out of 10 you're going back to it.
I can't wait to go to France so I can listen to niggas in Paris.
In France.
In Paris, for sure.
Them niggas did niggas in Paris 16 times in a row. And they were excited about every one, bro. Niggas need to do something in Paris for sure.
For sure.
16 times? After 2 times, I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
And back in 2015, when I first went to see Post Malone, we had like 4 songs. He did White Iverson 6 times.
White Iverson was a good song.
That was a classic.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing with like a lot of people saying that a lot of the new shit is bullshit. I like that record. I don't like Post Malone like that, but that record was dope.
His best
I think
song.
I think I'm good enough to defer what's good and what's not. And that's a lot of it is by how much effort you put into it. You can tell somebody's effort through it a lot.
His best song is Boy Bands.
That record's hilarious.
You haven't heard it. He dead says, I got NSYNC dancing on my neck. And it's Cubic Custom
But the
motherfucking
thing
shit.
is the
I got boy bands.
the way the beat
Like
is
a rap
structured,
bass.
the way the beat structured, and the way he's saying it. The first time, like, you're gonna turn this bullshit off. But the other time, it's like, it's one of those, it's like having a bad, good pizza. It's like that. That's exactly
Come
what it is.
on. Are we going to bring that into this podcast?
What?
The bad, good, the average frozen pizza?
No. Bad, good pizza in the sense of, like, how Hungry Howie's is bad pizza, but
Oh.
it's good sometimes. Like, it's...
Nah, Hungry Howie's just good.
Dude, Hungry Howie, seriously. You know the
Y'all
theory,
think it's
man.
good, though?
Dude, you know the theory. Hungry Howie's, all right, is the gatekeeper. If your pizza is worse than Hungry Howie's, it is bad. If it's better than Hungry Howie's, it's pretty decent. Like, that's the
Makes
gatekeeper.
sense to me.
That's literally
I
the
studied
gatekeeper.
economics in school.
Yeah, see, but the thing is with me, I just hold the words for what it is. Decent isn't good.
You don't think decent is good?
No. Decent is decent, and good is good. That's for the reason why we have these words.
I feel like decent is enjoyable.
No, that's the thing that people like to fucking use words for their own definition. Decent is decent and good is good. It's simple and plain.
But
There wouldn't be 2 different words for it.
Decent and good can both be enjoyable.
Yeah, but one is in the other.
One is more enjoyable than the
Yeah,
other.
one is more enjoyable than the other.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. Yeah, you're just mincing words right now.
No,
That's
I'm
all
not.
it is.
I'm literally saying that those have 2 different definitions. But
Yeah,
both
but
can
I'm
be-
saying one definition doesn't cross over to the other definition. So I'm
Correct.
saying, yeah.
Again, I agree with you.
You
Why-
just weren't agreeing with me. You just said decent wasn't good.
I said decent.
You just said decent was good, and I'm telling you
Decent
that
is
it's 2
good in the
different words.
sense where I'm saying where it's positive, not that it literally means good.
But that's not the way that will be held in that conversation.
Yo,
Okay, for the listeners, we had a conversation before the pod because I want to try a frozen pizza again because it's been like 12 years or something, and I'm being told that there is no good frozen pizza out there.
It's not.
So AB
And don't
said,
send me any frozen
what was
pizza
the one you
anymore.
said? Fruschetta.
I said bruschetta
He said fruschetta is decent
for frozen pizza.
for frozen pizza, and I said, well, then that's good, right? And then this guy over here was saying that's not good.
It's not
It's
good.
just decent.
Yeah, it's decent.
But I'm saying that-
the exact word you said is the exact thing that it
So
is.
the argument that I had was in the realm of frozen pizzas,
It's
right?
good.
It's good.
But I'm holding it. See, people like to put it in categories like that
Because it's a different category.
to disguise it. No, it's not.
Disguise.
That's all it is. If you're telling me a shoe is good from Payless, you can be like, it's a good shoe for Payless. No, it's a fucking shoe. So is it good compared to every shoe?
But it's a good shoe for Payless.
No.
That's
Is it a good shoe compared to every shoe?
That's a
the
perfectly
only conversation
valid
we
thing
have.
to say. That's a perfectly valid thing to say.
Here's the thing. I think both things are valid, but you have to know your audience, right?
Yeah.
If you're
It's the
at a
best
college,
song on the bad album.
if you're at a college party,
Yeah.
and you got to feed 40 heads or more, you're popping off Hungry Howie's for sure.
Exactly.
That's $5 large.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're popping off Hungry Howie's. And that's a good pizza, right? For that
For
purpose.
$5.
However,
But that's not the conversation that I'm having.
if you're trying to buy Luke Colley's
because if you tell me
happening.
that the girl because he's trolling, but I'm being 100% serious.
I'm not trolling.
If you tell me a girl's a 6 because she's in this room, nigga, that don't make her attractive to everybody else.
Hold up. Because that happens, man. Look, I work in an office, all right? And
Hey, all right,
the
so
office,
let's put it like this.
She's the best looking girl in the office.
look, an Office 6 is like a real
No,
life
but
3.
you gotta put it in in the sense that a nigga's gonna be like, she's a bad bitch just because she's the only good looking girl in the room.
Dude, that's how they act.
If she walks out of that room into the fucking world, she's no longer a bad bitch. So she's never been one.
Yo, this happens, though.
Hold on now.
She's never been
She's
one.
just the baddest bitch in the office.
But yeah, she's the baddest bitch in the office, but it doesn't make her a bad bitch, is what I'm saying.
He's taking it as like, whatever this product is, whatever this thing is,
It's
it has to be
to everything of that nature.
It has to be
my
comparable
nigga.
to everything.
If you
That's
can-
the only rating he wants. He doesn't want.
That's the only rating I want. If you tell me that your wallet is good and you're comparing it to my wallet, no, it's not.
He doesn't want a conditional rating.
I do not
he
want
wants
conditional
an
ratings.
overall rating.
If you tell me, yo, it's a 10 in here, and I walk in, I'm like, yo, that bitch is a fucking 3.
But she's a 10 in there.
It doesn't matter. Is she a 10 anywhere?
No, almost never.
Exactly. That is the point of this conversation.
You don't believe in any type of conditional rating.
Oh, for what? For what? Why? For what?
Because it matters.
No, I hold it accountable to everything.
Look.
Yeah, that's too broad. You need context.
Yes, because look, I'm not a rich man, right? So recently I went to buy a vacuum, right? So I checked up online, what's a really good vacuum to buy.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like $1,200 vacuums that do everything.
Which is
freaking,
the best vacuum, right?
best
You
vacuum.
would say that's the best vacuum.
The best vacuum.
Exactly.
But guess what? I'm fucking broke.
Exactly.
I can't afford that
so
vacuum.
So you get something that you can afford.
So I need
the
ratings to be conditional to also include price.
Yeah, but exactly. You wouldn't tell me this is the best vacuum you can buy.
No, that's true. I wouldn't.
For that price, yes. But I'm saying if he came to me and was like, "Yo, this is the best vacuum, hands down," and I'm like, "Wait, nah, it's a $1,200 vacuum, and I got $1,200. I can buy this vacuum, and it's way better than your vacuum."
I mean, perfect example to what you're saying is my dad came over and he's like, "Is the vacuum good?" And I said, "For the price."
Exactly.
For the price, it does the job.
Exactly.
But that's conditional.
But it doesn't make it the best vacuum.
No.
That's the problem. That is the problem.
But we're dropping the condition on the pizza and everything else. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying you can't.
Why can't you?
Because the thing is, if you're telling me a frozen pizza is good, I'm comparing it to everything.
Dude, nothing I own is good.
Stop.
No, because I don't like to do that. It's either good or it's bad to me. That's it, simple and plain. If you bring a sneaker to me right now and you tell me that this sneaker is hot and I'm like, that sneaker is garbage, then it's garbage. Simple and plain.
So I own nothing that is good, according to this guy.
Nothing is good.
Everything has to be within my budget. So.
Everything is a 2 out of 10.
If you're comparing it to everything, yes, nigga, yes. If you're comparing it to everything, yes.
Everything because not everything is accessible 100% of the time.
The mic that we're using right now
is great for the price.
No. I'm gonna if you tell me that this mic is the best mic ever to be made, that would be false.
I would never tell you that.
Yeah, but what
exactly.
What if he told you that's a good mic?
For the price.
No. What if you didn't even say that? What if he's like, that's a good mic?
This is a good mic. If I thought the mic was a good mic, then yes.
No, but how do you feel about it in comparison to other mics that you've run into? I mean, your dad does music stuff. You've been around good mics.
I would say this is an okay mic.
Okay.
Compared to all the mics that I've used, it's an okay mic.
Is okay worse than decent?
I think okay is decent.
I think
if somebody
No, because you're just trying to troll to this conversation.
No, because I'm trying to understand your scale.
If somebody came up to me and I said, "How's that pizza?" and they're like, "It's okay. I'm not trying that pizza." If I'm like, "How's that pizza?" and they're like, "It's decent," I'd be like,
Well, my whole conversation was that there's no good pizza.
Okay.
I mean, good frozen pizza. That's the thing.
That's also debatable because you haven't tried every frozen pizza.
I have tried frozen pizzas. That's how I know this guy's a real pizza.
Not every frozen pizza.
Every frozen pizza is not going to be the same quality as a regular pizza because it's frozen products.
Look, listeners,
It's gonna have preservatives in it that's not gonna be good.
I can buy the best pizza in the world right now, right? Unfrozen, right?
Yeah.
I put it in the freezer for 40 minutes.
As soon as
That's
you
gonna
flash freeze
change
that
that.
pizza, it's not gonna change. It's not gonna taste the same.
that's gonna change that flavor.
But
1,000%.
when I unfreeze it, I've just thought out frozen pizza, didn't I?
Yes.
It's the best frozen pizza. But it was at one point the best pizza in the world.
This nigga just likes to like mix things a lot. I know it's not. It's not it
Look,
at all.
listeners.
No, it's not what?
It's not the best frozen pizza in the world because it originally was made as a hot pizza. You just froze it.
So it's a frozen pizza.
No, it's not, nigga.
Look,
You're mincing words.
No, you're mincing words a lot.
now we have to have the definition of
frozen.
a frozen pizza.
Exactly, that's the thing.
What is
He's
the
just
process
trolling
of
the
making
whole
frozen
conversation. That's all he's doing.
Dude, this is basically like a.
He just like niggas to go around in circles. That's all it is.
This is like a Congress proceeding now.
Yeah, basically. He
What
just
is a
turned-
frozen
I'm
pizza?
filibustering right now.
He just
I'm
turned this.
definitely
He just
filibustering.
turned this into a red and blue conversation, and niggas just gonna go around in circles for days.
Let's just ask the listeners. Look, I'm looking for a good frozen pizza. Good against any pizza.
Exactly.
Because that's what you wanted,
But
right?
you don't believe any frozen pizza can match up to any unfrozen pizza.
No.
That's 100% not true.
That's not necessarily untrue because although there's a non-zero probability that there's a pizza out there that's frozen that's good, it's a lot harder to find one that's good in comparison to like a freshly cooked pizza.
If I go get any slice in New York from any place that makes that pizza fresh, it's gonna be better than any frozen pizza that you put out on this fucking earth.
I disagree.
1,000%.
That-
I disagree.
1,000%.
I disagree.
I'm down to test that theory.
The thing is, that's the same shit that we just had about artistry.
Yeah.
It's just being fucking mass produced, so it's gonna be the least good qualities as possible and
How about
frozen
this?
and just thrown in the fucking oven.
How about this? If you tried a pizza at somebody's house,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Yo, where'd you get this from?" And then they're like, "Oh, it's a frozen pizza."
I'm like, get this shit the fuck away from me.
No, because you thought it was from somewhere that they just made it.
No, I wouldn't think
Alright.
it though.
No, see, you can't say that. That's not for the sake of the argument.
Bro,
you can't
any
say that.
frozen pizza that I have, its dough tastes like fucking cardboard, my
But
nigga.
what if it didn't? Then what?
And okay, if the pizza was a good pizza, I would say it's good. Simple
So
and
then-
plain.
But this is what my whole point is. How do you rate that pizza? Before, you would probably be like, that pizza's pretty good. And then they tell you it's frozen. All of a sudden, you're
No,
like,
no,
"Oh, it was decent.
I'm
It
not
was
saying
okay."
because it's frozen that it's not good pizza. I'm saying that from what I've tasted and from what I've tasted at hot pizza, there's no fucking good pizzas. No
But-
fucking frozen good pizzas. If a pizza tasted like a Lucali pizza slice that I got in New York and it was frozen, my nigga, I would say it's a good pizza slice.
Okay.
That's the thing. You motherfuckers are
Just
missing words and
rewording
saying
my
that.
argument from earlier.
No, you motherfuckers are. No, but I'm saying if it was actually built like a frozen pizza, not that it was hot and then it was frozen.
Look, man.
That's a
I
frozen
don't-
pizza.
No, it's not.
I don't
man.
look. I don't care if it's
It's like this
Lucali
nigga's telling
slice.
me that if they put fucking soles on a sandal, it's a sneaker.
Is it not?
It's not. That's what he was gonna say if you weren't here.
If you put soles on a sandal and an upper and some laces, that's a sneaker.
That's not what I said, did I?
That's not what you said.
Exactly.
I'm
You
gonna
added a whole bunch of stipulations to it. That's the problem. This nigga just adds what he wants and then says, that is what you said.
Look,
No, I'm not saying that's what you said. If you put soles on a sandal, that's not.
No,
a
I
sneaker.
said put soles on the sandal is
That's not a sneaker. I'm
Exactly.
saying if you do this, and this, that's a sneaker, right? That's
Yeah.
a sneaker now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if I did that, it's a sneaker.
yeah, but
Wait,
So if I do all this, and this to a pizza and make it frozen, it's a frozen pizza.
Yeah, but there's a difference between a frozen pizza and a pizza.
the thing is,
Do you think that a frozen pizza is like born frozen?
no. Look, dude.
This motherfucker is a different type of moron, my nigga. I'm telling you right now, this nigga's a different type of
I don't know
moron.
if you're trolling or not.
He's definitely trolling, 1,000%. He just likes niggas to go around in circles, that's it. And then the nigga who ends up looking stupid when we listen to this video is him, because then he's like, yo, I was really wildin', bro. Tomorrow, that's exactly what he was gonna say.
I'm gonna try to get my original message out to your listeners.
Yeah, because
Give me
this nigga
advice.
just went around in circles. I just said that if you tell me something is good, it has to be good compared to everything.
Yeah. So
That's all my argument was. He just went around in a whole bunch of circles.
I don't know if there's some way that they can contact you guys, maybe Twitter or something. But
Fuck that. Don't send me no frozen pizzas, nigga.
no, I want to know what's a good frozen pizza.
Fuck them frozen pizzas, nigga. Do not send me no frozen pizzas. Fuck them frozen pizzas, nigga.
I already know a few people will text me and they'll
Don't.
Fuck
Look,
them
if you say
crumble crust.
DiGiorno, just don't send that text.
All right, yeah.
But exactly my point. A nigga's gonna tell me a DiGiorno is good pizza, bro. Get the fuck out of here, my nigga.
I love this.
I can get any fucking hot pizza, and it's gonna taste way better than a DiGiorno.
But it's not delivery.
Fuck DiGiorno,
Yeah,
nigga.
what a great slogan. I think normally how this goes in houses is like, what the fuck is this pizza? It's like, it's not delivery. It's like, oh, I know.
That's my point. I know, nigga. This isn't a DiGiorno, nigga.
I'm asking what this
That's
is.
just bullshit out of here.
All I know is that somewhere there's a highly rated artisan frozen pizza.
I guarantee there's one somewhere, and it's
that
probably
can challenge.
it's probably so expensive you're better off just buying a freaking pizza.
But the thing is, the quality will never be the same because it's frozen.
And
That's
the
thing.
preservatives
Yeah,
and
the
all this other
preservatives.
stuff that they have to
The
put on.
preservatives they throw on a frozen pizza don't allow the ingredients to taste the same as if it was freshly made. That's
But
the
they-
thing. It won't be the same.
If it's one of these artisan expensive pizzas, it might be one of those where it's like it's frozen, but it only has a life of like 2 or 3 days, so that
As
they don't
opposed
add
to,
too
like,
much of the
a
preservatives.
It's just like comparing a crock to actual good sneakers.
Yeah, then you're
That's
paying
all
30.
it is.
You're paying $30 for a medium there.
Those Crocs resells though. Those Crocs are reselling.
Yeah, one certain crock are reselling. Yeah, but
All right, so maybe I have one certain frozen pizza.
I would never would.
this nigga's dead ass trying to make the argument that there's a pizza out there that's frozen.
He's just
that will
arguing-
taste better than a pizza that is.
All I'm
freshly
saying is
made.
that there's a fucking chance.
That's what I was gonna say. He's just.
You can't let niggas like this live in the world. Because this nigga, if the zombie apocalypse is coming, you get bit, there's a chance you can go back to a human. So let him rock, bro.
Oh nah,
No.
because then you're talking about my life versus a good pizza.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Straight up, if I got bit by a zombie, you guys don't even have to worry about it. I'm gonna off myself because I would be the best zombie out there, and you guys would have no chance of survival. It'd be bad for you.
Either way, that conversation took a whole different turn that it didn't need to take. I just said,
Maybe not. Maybe the frozen pizza's gonna make me a zombie.
I just said good. Good is good no matter what.
Listen,
Compared to everything.
yeah.
all I know
okay.
is
A good jacket is gonna be a good jacket compared to everything.
all I know is a tomato doesn't give a fuck about me,
Especially not you, man.
especially
Look.
about me.
So we're on the docket for like 2 hours and 30 minutes. 45% of the time is just Andrew just saying open the bullshit that he just wants niggas to go around in circles with.
I
That's
feel like I made some
Telatalk
good
season
points
3,
today.
episode 6.
Thanks for having me. Hope your mom's not mad at me.
We out.